I've been waking up slow with the weight in my chest, like the sun forgot how to shine in the west. And I smile when they ask, say I'm doing just fine, but there's thunder rolling quiet in the back of my mind. Some days are light, and some days I fake, and some days I break for my own damn sake. Well, the thing is, I'm trying, even when the voice in my head keeps lying. It's a war just to get out of bed, but I breathe in deep and I face it instead. No, I'm not alright, but I'm fighting to be. Well, the thing is, I'm still me. I got friends who don't call, and I don't blame them. Hard to hold space when your world's gone vacant. And I wish I could tell you what's missing inside, but it's foggy in here, even with open eyes. I wear my silence like armor, I know, but there's hope in the cracks where the light starts to show. Well, the thing is, I'm healing, even when I don't trust what I'm feeling. Every scar is a line in my song, every stumble's a sign. I've been walking this long, and I don't have a map, but I've got my feet. Well, the thing is, I'm still me. I won't lie and say it's easy, but I won't hide the storm inside. If you're walking through the darkness, take my hand, we'll walk side by side. Well, the thing is, we're learning, and the fire in our hearts keeps burning. Even when the night feels too long, the strength in the fact we go on. So if you're not okay, let this song set you free. 'Cause the thing is, you're still you, and that's still enough for me.
Hello, everybody. So, I got a special guest that's going to be coming up. Oh, Phoenix Fireside, long time no see. How are you doing? So, most of you guys know my name's Eddie. Well, the thing is, today's live is going to be an interesting live. We're going to be talking about humility and ego. And with that being said, I want to bring up a friend and a guest by the name of Gen X Jeff. Welcome to the stage,
Ooh.
Jeff.
Hey,
How are you
thank
doing?
you for having me, Eddie. What's up?
And those of you who do not know Jeff, I have his link pinned in the comments up top. And give him a check. Go over, subscribe, check him out. So we're going to talk about humility first, right? We're going to go over what the real meaning of humility is. And then we're going to talk to Jeff about it, and I'm going to discuss it. And we're going to share what our thoughts on humility is. So, what is the real meaning of humility? Humility is the quality of having a modest or low view of one's importance. It is important to oppose. It's the opposite of arrogance or pride. It involves recognizing one's limitations and imperfections, having accurate self-perception, and focusing on others rather than oneself. True humility is not about self-deprecation or having low self-esteem, but rather having a balanced and realistic view of oneself and one's place in this world. Randy Jean, how you doing? Rhonda G, how you doing? P Barnes, Vinny Potts, how you doing? Well, pots and pans. So, what is your struggle with humility, Jeff?
Well, partly what that definition says. Some of it I don't have a problem with. I think it's healthy to know your limitations, to be aware of them. I think it's healthy to have an accurate perception of yourself, although I don't think anyone ever 100% does. And so much of that is subjective.
It
But
is.
the very first part about, can you read the first part again?
The first part is it's the opposite of arrogance or
Before
pride.
that.
The quality of having a modest or low view of one's
Yeah,
own importance.
that. Like, I don't have a low view of myself or my importance or a modest view or anything like that. That's so, when you were reading it off, I was cringing the whole time, thinking, no way, there's no way if that's humility, I'm never going to have that. I'm never going to be able to see myself that way. And which goes back to the ego.
So it's something you can work on.
No, I don't think I can. I don't think there's anything I can do about it, and I'm not motivated to.
So let's go to ego. Ego can refer to the concept of the self, a person's sense of self-importance, or the part of the mind that mediates between the conscious and unconscious. It can also refer to a brand of, well, so it can also refer to a brand of cordless outdoor power equipment, ego power. In psychology, particularly in Freud theory, the ego is a component of the psyche that mediates between the ID and the superego, acting as a bridge between instinctual desires and moral conscience. Outside of psychology, ego can simply mean a person's self-esteem or a sense of self-importance.
Yeah, it keeps coming back to that sense of self-importance. And humility is like mitigating that, and ego is is that. It's exactly that. And so if you have that, I don't know if you can overcome it. I don't know how you would overcome it, but the thought of even overcoming it is the barrier in the first place. Because why would you suddenly stop thinking that you're important? That's
Well,
almost
it's not
impossible to do if you already think that way.
so. In my opinion, okay, because this is all our opinions and thoughts. Okay, so well, P. Barnes is very intelligent person. So unless he says, unless we are consciously aware of humility, anger takes over. Interesting. So I've I've never looked at it like in some cases I think I'm important to people, because of what I have to offer. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? But at the same time, what I struggle with is, am I good enough? You know what I'm saying? Like, am I doing well in what I offer? Am I, because what I do over here in this channel is mental health. Like, all I talk about is mental health mainly, is to try to help people. And being an empath can be a downfall in some cases, you know?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, being an empath, trying to take everybody's problems onto your shoulders.
Right.
And
Sometimes you don't even know you're doing it, or that they're
yeah,
other people's problem. Like you think you're stressing out about your own problems until you realize that's not even my problem. That's something I took on from this other person.
see, one thing is I've been into your channel. I've been up on your panel. I've never seen, I've never taken you as somebody who is egotistical. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Maybe I don't know. A lot of people do. Maybe maybe I'm better at like not hiding it, but downplaying it than I thought. But the shadow side of it is what you mentioned before that, and that's imposter syndrome. Like I have both, and I have both really bad, like at the same intensity. And so I also think that I'm never good enough, that what I'm offering is not really what people tell me that it is that I'm offering. And like I never believe it when people tell me the good things about myself that I'm doing. So I have both. I have the self-importance and I have the sense that I'm not really doing any of the important work I think I'm doing, no matter how many
So do
times
you?
people tell me I am. So it's both. It's not like they're feeding my ego because I don't believe them in the first place.
So P. Barnes says, "Am I good enough?" It's a very important question. Knowing that it's always good enough at the moment based on your knowledge in that moment.
Yeah, and that varies too on the situation because there's a lot of things I feel inadequate about. I guess it's the ego comes from the things that I know I'm good at that are obvious to me.
Yeah.
But there's also things that other people are way better at than I am. And when it comes to those things, I feel very, very inadequate. Like I'm very aware that I'm way behind where most people are in this thing, and I'm never going to catch up. So I have to like adjust my life to that limitation. So I do have both. But to me, humility is when I guess I'm skeptical how much other people have to teach me, and humility is like submitting to someone else's ability to teach you
Do
something
you do
or
you
show
do
you
you believe
something or
you're
give you something useful. And I resist that because I just don't believe anyone's really going to be able to do that. So they just
do you,
they want the humility, but they're not able gonna be able to actually deliver what they're trying to teach me.
do you believe you're a humble person?
I'm not humble. I am modest in certain situations. Like if I'm around somebody that it's obvious they're better at whatever than I am, I can be very modest about my
Okay.
ability in relation to them. And I can be very like respectful to them and I can give them their credit. I guess I can humble myself a little bit in respect for their skill level. So but it has to be specific individuals that are doing something better than me in something.
Okay.
So it's earned kind of by their competency.
See,
But then there's also general respect for like human life. Like I respect every individual human kind of on an existential level. I don't think any one person is more important than anyone else. We were all created or evolved, whatever. Um, and so I have this basic like universal human respect for an individual regardless of anything about them or their story or their abilities. So there's that layer of it as well.
so growing up with me, um, I've always been a humble person, because I was taught that. That was distilled into my brain that
By
there are going to
parents.
be, yeah, well, parents and my elders, you
Well,
know,
you grew up in America?
yeah, I grew up in here in Florida.
Okay.
Um, I grew up. I had a rough life growing up too. I didn't have an easy life growing up, But as I got older, I had positive people come into my life,
Yeah.
you know, and they taught me a lot of things that I live with till this day. So, and they taught me about being humble. They they let me know that there's always going to be someone better than you in certain situations, and accept it. You know what I'm saying? Um, there's room for improvement. You can improve, but there will always be somebody when it comes to certain things. Like I was an athlete growing up, right? I played basketball, I played football, I ran track, I was an amateur boxer, you know. So I did a lot of things growing up, and I come across people in my field of sports that in certain positions they were better than I was. You know what I'm
And you
saying?
had
And
to
it
give
played my
into
role.
that. Like you had to accept
Yes,
that reality.
yes. So you have to humble yourself and realize, okay, this guy's got a 3 inch vertical leap more than I do, or this guy, you know, can run faster than me. You just got to accept it. Or like in school, right? I was a math genius, but when it came to science, it was weak for me. So I had to ask for help. You know, so you got to humble yourself. You know, that's how I look at the word humble.
Do you
Everybody
remember
looks
like
at,
your first experiences being like when you first experienced humility?
oh yeah, oh yeah, yep, yep. I thought I was the greatest basketball player in my age group. I seriously did. I could shoot threes. I could dunk. I could dribble. Um, I could. I thought I was better than everybody else, and I was humble. Um, yeah, by a friend of mine, of all people, humbled me, humbled me.
Well, I hate that feeling, the one you described about they can run faster or whatever, and I always fight like I lost the spelling bee one year, and to this day I fight that reality. Like something about that really bothers me because I should not have lost that spelling bee, but I legitimately lost, but my mind resists that reality. And you're able to like acknowledge that okay, I did this well, but these other people did better.
And that's part of life. You know, I can understand.
It is part of life. I get it's just a part of life. I don't think you always have to accept. Like you can still continue to try to be where they are.
Yeah,
Like
you
you don't have. I
can.
guess you don't have to accept your place because then how do you get to where they are if you just accept?
I
Okay,
never. You don't ever. So, being humble is accepting the fact that somebody's better than you. It doesn't say give up. You can always improve on your weakness. Okay. When I ran track and field, when I ran track, there was a kid by the name of Eric Fisher, and I'm not doxing him because he is a track star for the University of Florida, so you can look him up. Okay.
that Eric.
Eric Fisher, right? He uh he was a track star at University of Florida. When we ran in school together, he was always a hair faster than me. Always a hair faster than me. Always. Okay. And no matter how much I practiced up and down the stairs, throwing the parachute on my back and running with it, it didn't matter how much I ran, he was always faster. It didn't matter. So there's got to be a time where you got to just accept the fact that this person in this field is better than me.
No, not
But when
until I
it
beat
came
them.
to,
Not until I beat
huh?
them. Not until I beat them. And I can't,
I tried.
the humility gets in the way of that because I can't, it interferes with the drive and the motivation that I need. Because if I start to get humble, some of that's going to dissipate, and it's going to be like two conflicting purposes at that point. So I have to keep the humility out of it as long as I'm still in competition.
Well, the thing is I'm humble, but I don't like say I'm he, the thing is you got it in the beginning. I was like, no, I'm gonna beat him. I'm gonna beat him. You know what I'm saying? In the beginning, but when I realized it didn't matter how much training I did, he was always gonna have that advantage. That's when I became humble, right? Name is Dragonfly. How you doing? Okay.
Yeah, that's a hard feeling for me.
Yes, Vinny Potts, enjoying the experience of wanting to do better. Yes. There's nothing
But
wrong with being humble.
you also had some practice at it as a kid because you said that you were kind of it was part of your upbringing, and I think they tried people here and there tried to teach me that kind of stuff, but I never really noticed it or paid attention to it. So I didn't get the lessons either from early childhood that you did, and probably most people did.
Okay,
So
like
that makes it
Kiwi's
hard
Road
too.
says, train the brain to rewrite with positive neurofeedback from internal and external experience. I really like that quote. I really like
In a
that
very
statement.
general way, I would say, yeah.
Yeah,
The
I really
specifics, I'm
like
not
that
sure what
statement.
they
That,
mean.
that that's a good quote. And then P. Barnes says, knowing your limit makes life easy. This doesn't mean to stop from learning because every one
Yeah,
of us has limitations in life.
yeah,
We do have our limits, and accepting those limits doesn't make us less than or invaluable. It just we know
it
what we're
can.
capable of doing, huh?
It can. It depends on how important the limits are to you.
Yeah.
But some limitations can um, affect you if you accept them. But I do think there's wisdom in like generally knowing your limits and not pushing past your limits, or at least not without a plan and how to do it smartly. Hey, Leggy.
So so Kiwi's Road said suffered from major depressive disorder and severe nerve damage in the lower back with fusion. Good things no longer fun, but
Oh.
it but if gonna be in pain, do what makes you happy.
Yeah. Are there still things you can do? Yeah, we're Vermont saying. That's what I'm saying. Like I can't just accept something as a limit until I beat it. So it's like a catch 22. It never resolves itself. And to
See,
me, part of humility is kind of accepting this limit. And accepting it means you've resigned yourself that you're not going to get beyond it.
it's like so there's certain things I used to be really good at growing up, like really good at growing up, and I when I left it, it kind of left me. When I quit doing it, I kind of fell away from it. Like I used to be a really good chess player, and I used to get better over time, and then I quit doing it. And playing chess is not like riding a bicycle.
Oh,
I found that out the hard way. I was talking so much. I was cocky. I was at a barbecue, and I was cocky. I was like, yeah, I was, I almost played against one of the chess masters. Uh, you know who Gary Fisher is, the chess master back in the
Bo-
90s?
Bobby Fischer?
Bobby Fischer, yeah, Bobby Fischer
You
back
played
in the
Bobby
90s.
Fischer?
Almost,
Oh,
almost,
wow.
almost before he passed away. Um, so there was a tournament here in Florida, a chess tournament, many, many years ago, about 30 years ago, roughly. I was in a chess tournament and I got eliminated in 35th place. The dude that beat me went on to play against Bobby Fischer, right? He ended up losing.
Oh,
Okay, he ended up losing, hands down, lost. I was like, thank heavens. Thank heavens he lost.
so if you
No,
had won, that would have been you?
if I would have won and kept going, I probably would have got my ass kicked by Bobby
Dang.
Fischer.
Yeah, that is pretty good, though.
But I got eliminated in 35th place. And um, but when I was at this barbecue, I was talking about how good I was. And then I got my ass handed to me. I was humbled.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like that's very painful, almost unbearable.
And sometimes in life, somebody's going to humble you, and you got to just accept
No, not if I can help it.
it.
That's what I'm saying. See the resistance I have? I don't like that something in me does not want to experience that feeling of humility. But y'all got it early, like y'all got desensitized to it. So it's not the trauma for you that apparently is for me.
But you can still get it.
I don't want
It
it.
just take time.
I don't want it.
Why?
The only way people can humble me is to be like I'm so in awe of them that it just happens naturally. Like I'm like you are an amazing person, or you're doing this amazing thing. I'm never gonna come near that. You have my complete respect and I kind of like get out of their way. That's my way of humbling. I acknowledge their ranking or their ability, and I let them do their thing. And I don't try to challenge them or compete with them or anything like that. That's the closest I've come to humility.
You know, like, did you play sports growing up?
I did not. I mean, we had PE, so there were like games we did in PE, like kickball and stuff. But like actual school sports, no. In fact, they had to take me out of PE because the kids were so rough and mean with me in sports. So I
Which,
did not have a good experience of sports. Plus, I'm uncoordinated and didn't know what I was doing either. Now, I do like
so
volleyball. I love volleyball, especially beach
I was good
volleyball.
at volleyball. I was an athlete growing up, man.
Yeah,
The
well,
only two
you and
things
I would
I
have been on the
couldn't
same
do,
team then.
the only two things I couldn't do in sports was hockey and soccer.
Yeah, I couldn't do soccer either.
I wasn't a long distance runner. I was a short distance sprinter. I ran the 100 and 200. I played football and I played basketball. And in middle school, I played volleyball. Um, my the only time when I became disabled, I had to quit playing basketball. Uh, I fractured my left ankle. That went my career in basketball. I had a full scholarship, and I fractured my ankle,
Oh,
snapped every ligament in my left ankle, and there went my college scholarship for basketball. Um, So when that happened, I became really depressed, really depressed. And and the thing is, right, is with sports is what you know growing up. That's all you know is sports.
Hmm.
You know, you kind of lose yourself.
What did you do?
So, so I became a painter. I started painting houses.
Oh.
Yeah, I had to figure out something. I had to do something with my life.
Hmm.
So what's going on, Ann? So I had to.
Did you like that? Like, did you enjoy it?
I did it for 28 years
Wow.
before I became disabled, which
That's,
sucks.
oh,
I
a
can't
second
climb a
time?
ladder without my legs shaking.
Oh no.
I had a fall where I injured my back, my lower back. So if I stand too long, my back hurts. If I climb a ladder and my back starts to hurt, my legs start to shake,
Oh.
and I don't need that happening and risking of falling off the ladder. And who's gonna hire a painter that can't climb ladders?
Right. So is it like you're trying to pivot to mental health and YouTube?
Yeah, well, I need to find something that I knew about, I was passionate about, something I cared about. Um, yeah, yes, Kiwis Road. Worst part about feeling depressed is you think you're alone. You're not. Everyone has been depressed at some point in time. Learn how to adapt and then become a different person. Ish. Yeah. So you're not alone. That is
Yeah, and
correct.
the worst thing, one of the worst things you can do for depression is isolate because it just exacerbates that distortion of aloneness. So if you're around other people, particularly other people that have also been depressed or understand depression, that can help a lot.
Yes. My thing is, right, is um, when I couldn't paint no more, I got into the music business.
Oh,
I became an artist manager, did security at shows. Uh, I co-owned an independent record label. Um,
wow.
I worked with a handful of artists. They're still struggling because they didn't want to listen. And the thing is I can't listen to somebody. You get into the music industry, people think they're going to get rich quick.
That's that humility because
Yes,
that's another type of humility that I am learning actually is that if people are trying to show you a way of doing something that might be different from what I'm used to, sometimes let them. Sometimes they're right, sometimes they can show you something better. And so I'm starting to do that. I'm starting to let people give me suggestions on how to do things. And I'm starting to just follow. Like, don't question it, don't think about it, don't analyze it. Just listen to what they say and do it and see if it works. And that's kind of a form of humility for me, too, to even be able to do that.
yes. I tell people, like when I worked in the music industry, um, I told a lot of people to work on your craft, invest in your music. To make it anywhere, you got to invest in yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which
In
goes back to the
anything in
ego.
life, you have to invest in yourself. Okay. And if you don't invest in yourself, who's going to want to take time and invest in you? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Plus, if you're
Okay.
investing in yourself, it's less important whether people take the time to invest. So you can like be more selective with who invests in you because you're not
Yes.
so
Learn
desperate
to
for
be your
someone else
number
to
one fan.
invest in you.
Like, so with I learned, and this is another reason why I just walked away from the music business, is when you're like, I lived in New Hampshire for a long time, and it's like that here in Florida too in certain areas. If you're an artist in a city, you have to get out of your city to get known because the locals aren't going to support you. Okay. You have to venture away from your home to gain a following. So, and I learned that the hard way. I invested so much of my time and money in a lot of artists, they weren't returning it. I was humbled in that business. I walked away from it. You know, some things are meant to be, and some things aren't meant to be. You know, um, so I got into doing this, starting YouTube, because when it comes to men's mental health, you're not going to humble me because I know that there's a stigma behind men's mental health,
Yeah.
and you're not going to humble me. I'm going to keep doing what I got to do to break that stigma. I
See?
don't care if I got to walk down the street or jump on other panels and sit there and talk about mental health in places where they deny it. You know, I was on a panel where I saw a bunch of men saying, a bunch of guys that are so that were saying that therapy is not good and therapy is really good for you. I promote therapy. I don't promote medication. I promote therapy. I promote talking about your problems, finding resolutions, fixing them, and moving forward and not living in the past.
How long have you been doing the mental health stuff? The YouTube?
August will be 2 years.
Oh, okay.
And then as Dragonfly, I was in the hip hop industry. I was in the hip hop industry. I worked with hip hop artists, mainly rappers.
Yeah, he can spit bars too.
I used to want to be a battle rapper back in the day.
Oh.
I did. I did. I
That's
used to want to
something
be
that humbles me for sure. Like I could never pull off what they do.
it is. But the thing is, right, is um, writing is very difficult. Okay. Um, I was more of a freestyler. Okay.
Oh.
Making up words off as I go. I would create a beat in my head and go with it. So, but
So where do you hope to go with your channel or with YouTube?
as far as it'll take me, you know what I'm saying? What I'm trying to do is I want to work with mental health organizations. Um, I want to work with, um, I want to do events like charity events. Okay. I want to, I want to create a men's group where we get together once a month and just
Yeah.
talk. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Um, if not once a month, once a year, where a group of us men from all over walks of life meet in one location for the weekend and just hang out and talk amongst each other. That's my goal.
Yeah,
You know
mine
what I'm
too.
saying?
Uh-huh. I
Where
do.
we can just um, share stories, and relate to each other. You know, because I think, in my opinion, right, is um, a lot of men struggle communicating um, when they're going through something because they don't know how to express themselves. You know, when I tell people there's nothing wrong with being in touch with your emotions, it doesn't make you weak to be in touch with your emotions. Okay, doesn't make you less than. It doesn't make you soft. Okay, because I'm by far a soft individual. Right, I was
You
in a
are?
motorcycle club. Huh?
You said you are soft?
Oh, by far,
Oh.
I'm the least softest person you'll ever
Yeah,
meet.
that's what I was gonna say. You don't. You seem.
I was, man. How many? I was. I'm not going to give up the name of the club, but I was in a motorcycle club, and I would sit there and talk about mental health
Oh,
among a bunch of bikers.
how'd that go?
Uh, People carry conversations. They were intrigued. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm a very blunt person.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to say what's on my mind. You
Yeah.
know,
Like, I think all Americans should or can.
you know, I'm not going to disrespect. Like the conversations I would have weren't disrespecting people. Okay, it was just, you know, saying, you know, if you're struggling with anything and you need to talk, I'm here. We can conversate. You
You don't
know,
know how many people tell me how helpful YouTube is for their mental health. Like just having panels that they can go to when they need to have connection or like feel part of a community. Or just
well,
talk. Just hop on
because
a panel and unload something that's on their mind.
a lot of us are outcasts.
Or what?
Outcasts. We're
Uh,
different.
I guess so.
We're not socially accepted.
Yeah.
So,
Well, yeah. I see why for a lot of them. I do. And I'm glad that they have something like YouTube. Because
so, but
we're social creatures. I think not having that social outlet is going to be damaging for our mental health. Not to have that.
so like for example, right? A person like you and me should not be friends socially
Why?
because your belief system and my belief system, we should not be on the same panel having a normal conversation.
My belief system doesn't stop me.
My belief system doesn't stop me.
Well,
Okay.
the
What I'm trying to say, socially, the social norm, you would think, okay, a, and I don't talk religion on my panel, never will. But
oh right.
my belief system and your belief system are totally on north and south of each other, and we coexist
Yeah. I think
because we
that's
have.
what's cool about the modern world is that humans can do that. We've evolved to be able to do that now. And I think that's an advantage, a strength.
And that's what I'm trying to do is bring people together. Okay, there is bringing people together under one common goal,
What would that be?
having a
Kevin's
common
in.
understanding of each other, growth.
How do you guarantee that? Because everyone's going to have their own individual understanding
We
of
just
each
got to
other,
break
but
that
it's not
barrier.
going to be the same as the next person.
Correct. Which is the problem, which is the difficult part. That's what makes life interesting. Is um, how do I explain it? It's hard. Like I wish you were in my brain for a second because you would probably be able to understand it and break it
Oh,
down.
you
Like,
just fumble around with the words and images, and you'll get to something eventually that I can latch onto.
like you know how you have, yeah, like mental and the heart connection. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah,
know,
I do actually.
put our lifestyles aside and get to know each other as a person. Okay, you know, you would be surprised on how much we have in common if we
Okay, but
just lay.
here's what I thought. I thought that Generation X was already doing that because our focus was on the individual. And so I grew up already I know more about you as an individual than I even do about your lifestyle. So I've already put your lifestyle aside because I never factored it in the first place. I started with you as
Yes,
an individual, but that was the common practice for my generation. And that America was a country that was set up to kind of support the same focus on the individual over any kind of group or tribal difference.
which
And so what you're
and
describing, I agree with. I just thought it was already a basic norm that
it's
everybody was
losing that
doing.
norm. It's losing that norm. Everything's
That's
becoming identity,
yeah, that's what I think is unfortunate.
and
I think it's taken us
that's what's hurting
back
us
or
is
away.
identity.
Because it's
You
group
know, I
identity. It reduces the individual to some kind of abstract group identity when the individual themselves is way more complex and multidimensional than any one single identity category.
I look up to Gen X. I'm a millennial, right? I'm on the cusp. You know, I was born in '81. Okay,
Oh yeah, you're right, right on that edge.
yes, but I'm a millennial.
You're probably culturally Gen X.
Yes, I am culturally Gen X. My belief system is Gen X. Okay, um, but I'm technically a millennial. And as I've gotten older, I realize that everything is, as of lately, in the past 15 years, have become about identity. Identity. And it shouldn't be
Yeah.
about identity. You know, it should just be you. Who cares what your identity is? You're a person.
Well, it became very important to a lot of people at some point. Even
Yes.
even like professionally and institutionally, like your career or educational advancement depended on your identity, which identity you proclaimed for yourself or affiliated yourself with.
Yep. Which is
It was
sad.
stupid. The whole thing was stupid. I spent years on social media hollering about how stupid I thought it was.
You know, and but back to um, having an identity is connected to ego too, in my opinion.
You think, or lack of ego? Because if you have a strong ego, you don't need this external, socially constructed identity. But
Well,
for people that have no identity at all, then it's like an easy, ready-made, out-of-the-box identity. You just pick a category
yep,
and you call
yep,
yourself that, and now you have an identity.
you're right. So let's see. I want to
But I
check
don't know,
something.
because there's a lot of power seeking in that identity sector too, and that's probably driven by ego.
All my subs, can you guys click the link above and sub to Jeff, please?
And I
Just give him
made
a
it. I think
follow.
I made it. Like last time I checked, I was at 1,000. So we might do the party. I promised my viewers a shirtless disco party once I got 1,000. So we might do that later tonight or tomorrow, but it's gonna happen. So thank you all.
No, it's at 990, Jeff.
No, it was at 1,000. I promise. In fact, it even
I
let me
know it
turn
was.
on the partner feature.
Yeah,
And you're
so
right.
it
It's
did.
back to 991.
Yep, it's at 992 now.
That's what's been happening.
All
That's
my,
why I need like
all
enough
my,
subs to keep me over 1K to make it official.
you
But
guys.
it did let me go in and turn on the next tier that you get at 1K. So I was at 1K for a while.
So
So I think we're gonna have the party anyway at some point because any excuse for a party, and I was officially at 1K earlier today, so I'm gonna count that. And somebody even sent me a screenshot of it.
yes, you were. I saw it, and I was like, "Are we still doing this stream?"
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
once
like,
I
"Are we still
commit.
doing?" Yeah, but I didn't know. I was like, "Are we still doing this stream?" It's in the link above, Kevin.
Here, I can
Kevin,
drop
it's the
it too.
link posted
Outliers in
above.
Exile or Gen X Jeff.
It's right here.
It's
Here it
also a
is.
mental health channel, or it was started as a mental health channel, and I think people get a certain kind of mental health benefit from it. But to the casual viewer, it may not look like a mental health channel in its current iteration. But anyone's welcome to come up and talk about mental health. I always prioritize that topic.
So it can be entertaining over there. I will tell you, say the
It's
least.
an entertainment channel. Let's just say that.
Yes, Nana. I feel you
Which
should.
that also can be mental. It's mentally healthy to laugh and be
Yes.
entertained.
So Nana's Dragonfly said, "I feel y'all should find your purpose in life in striving. You will find bumps along the way, but never let it derail you."
Yeah.
There's
If
Willow.
it's a true purpose, that's what's going to carry you through all of that. If
Yes.
you're following an authentic purpose.
This is my friend Willow, the mod boss.
Hey Willow, are
Okay.
you the same Willow that used to hang out at my channel? Not Laz, I could never tell when you're being serious or not. Because you
So what I
troll
want to
yourself
do,
into skepticism.
okay. So not lots to said, "Jeff, I could use a mental health pickup."
Well, you're in the right
So
place.
so Willow said, "Well, I tried. You hid me."
Oh, okay, so that is you. All right. That
Yes, she is
was-
my OG mod boss, right?
well,
She is really good people. So I think he'll unhide you, Jeff. Willow. Jeff will unhide
I may. I mean, I hid them for a reason, and they
you.
probably know what that reason was. But if somebody like Eddie is vouching for you,
Yeah, Willow's
besides, I
good
can
people.
always hide you again.
uh, no hard feelings. I'm a bit mean. She said, "It's okay, Jeff. No hard feelings. I'm a bit mean." Uh,
Not Laz, what are you up to? First of all, this is Eddie's channel tonight, so I don't have that control. Um, Let me see it.
well, go to it and tell me what it is.
It's a
And then if you
TikTok.
want, oh, yeah. Uncle Fatty.
I think it's a troll.
No, not Uncle Fatty. No, he's not a troll.
No, not Lot. This video is a troll.
Oh, okay.
It's about alcoholics and drug addicts.
Crystal Phoenix Rising, how are you doing? Welcome in.
Well, I'll put the link in the back, and then you can decide if you want to show it or not.
Is it something funny?
I can't even tell to tell you the truth. If it's from Not Lost, probably not.
Mr. B.
It it's Canadian humor. Hey, Mr. B. No, I did not click the link part. I mean, I watched part of it, but he had. I like his shirt. He has a lumberjack shirt on. Hang on, I'm trying
So
to
I'm gonna. What
take
do you think
Willow
about us
off of.
opening the panel? I'm gonna open the panel
Are you
now.
opening a panel?
Yep, I'm opening the
Okay,
panel.
because I can put the link in mine too if you want.
Uncle Fatty says, "Good evening. My name is Fat Ass, and I'm a power tool addict."
Yeah, that's fatty.
uh, okay, let me see what.
All right, that's if I can find you, Willow, among the hundreds of thousands of names that I have blocked.
So Crystal Phoenix Rising said, "Good to know. I was sent by one of my friends. Just don't remember who. LOL." Well, Crystal Phoenix Rising, you're welcome here. This is a safe place. No trolls allowed. Mods will take care of it if there's any trolls coming in being inappropriate. This channel is about mental health. We talk all things mental health. Um, we also have humor here. Um, I invite people from all walks of life to come up on panel and talk. If there's a topic you want covered, it gets covered. Um, Up here is my guest, Jeff, Gen X Jeff. His channel is in the link above, posted. It's the pinned link. You could go over to his channel, subscribe if you want to. Okay, Crystal Phoenix Rising, you do the same. All right. Maybe we could collab on a video about mental health.
Oh yeah, I
That would
want
be.
your link too, Crystal. I might be interested. I'm
Let
looking
me
for mental health channels.
let me go look her up.
Willow, I didn't see you on the list. I might have already taken you off. You, I, I think you had talked me into giving you another chance on some panel. Fatty, you talking to me or Eddie? What homeboy?
So Uncle
B.
Fatty, um, okay, Crystal. Well, I'll still be live. I'll still be live. Daniel
How
Barry
long do you
Sports,
go
long time.
for?
I usually like to stream for like 2 hours.
Okay.
Um, I'm not like
Oh,
you, Gen
Leggy, you
X.
put the link. All right. I
Yeah,
think Leggy just dropped the link in my chat, so I'll pin it to the top if y'all want to come on with me and Eddie.
yeah, it's open panel now. Uncle Fatty, I got a question for you. So Gen X Jeff said you do really good music videos.
Like AI
So
videos to songs.
yes, yes. So I have a song that I need a video for. So if you can click the link and come in the back chat and drop your email for me, I'd highly appreciate it. So I can send you the song. Or you can email me in the description below this video. Well, the thing is one at gmail.com. I got a new email, Gen X Jeff.
Oh, different than the one you sent me?
Yes, but we can still communicate there.
Okay. I'll just
So,
send
but
it to yours.
I created one specifically for this channel. So I'm trying to slowly eliminate all things serious.
Do you have a Discord as well?
Yes, I do. Well, the thing is,
Okay. I'll drop mine in the back too.
Be More Busker. You know who that is, Jeff?
Is he? Oh yeah, he's one of ours.
Can you turn your camera on for a second, please? Just to make sure.
Oops.
All right, you're good.
Sorry.
You're good. All right.
I meant to put it in the back chat.
What's up?
Hey, Busker.
Hey, man. I was thinking about you, Jeff, because you were trying to reach 1,000. I remember last night you were talking about it, and I'm wondering if I can give you like an extra sub from my Google Plus, because I think Google Plus I think that's individual to the YouTube. I mean, it's
Yes,
separate.
Willow.
I don't know. I'm not sure. You could try it. I did hit 1,000 earlier today, and then
I'm gonna sign in as the Google Plus and sub to your channel, and I was curious to see if it would show. All right, let's see. Switch account.
Wow. Well, thank you.
All right, here we go.
Thank you, Willow. So, you're at 994 now.
Oh crap!
I love the old timey phone.
Sorry.
Yeah, I missed that.
That's the sound of Generation X, y'all. That's
I
what they
missed
sounded
that.
like growing up.
Hey, you remember the dial on the phones?
They're like,
Yeah.
yeah. And depending on which number you dial, because the one was a little short one, because it only had to go around a little bit, and the 0 was the long one because you had to take it all the way around, and it would make the noise on its way back.
Yes. Hold on. Let me just see who it is. My name is. You want to leave your camera on?
I don't know if that's one of ours or not. My name is.
It's me. It's me.
Oh, speaking of mental health,
All
what's
right.
up?
Well, what are you saying? I'm a basket case or what?
No, I didn't have to say any of that. Came tumbling out. What's up?
Not much. How are you today, Jeff?
Pretty good.
Mr. Well, the thing is, you.
Yeah, my name's Eddie, by the way.
Oh, Eddie. How are we?
Yep, he's
I'm doing
another
all right.
mental health,
Doing all
mental
right.
health guy.
Yeah, my channel I dedicated to people who struggle with depression, like myself. People who have struggle with different types of situations.
Right on.
Are you
I'm
struggling
trying to
with the
break-
situation? Leggy always has some kind of situation going.
Yeah, but not like life or death and fucking that type of fucking. I just got
well, that's-
situations.
Turn your
kinda
camera off,
healthy.
Crystal Phoenix.
You have a healthy attitude toward life.
I've got about 1 billion.
Well, I try to have it.
Hold on,
'Cause
panel. Hold on, panel. Crystal, can you hear me? You want to turn your camera off? Or do you want to leave it on? Okay, I'm bringing you up.
Doesn't matter to me either way.
Okay,
Hello.
Hello,
Crystal Phoenix.
Phoenix.
There's Jeff.
Hello.
Give me 1 second to step outside. I'm taking a 5-minute break before I finish closing up.
Oh, streaming from work. I love it.
One of 2 jobs besides my mental health. I think I've narrowed it down to 1 of 2 people. Gen X, possibly. And the source, like that group, I believe is how I got referred to your channel.
Oh.
If those names sound familiar.
Oh, you talking about Gen X? Gen X?
Or I'm not sure, but I know I was sent to your channel, so I subbed. Because
Well,
my friends only
thank
send
you,
me
whoever
mental health.
Whoever sent Crystal to us. Thank you. What's up?
I accept everybody.
Well,
This is a judgment-free zone.
Mhm.
Jeff accepted
I like
everybody
that.
too
I do
once
that.
upon a time.
Yeah, I had to learn
Jeff
not to
accepted me over at his channel.
very
Right.
quickly.
Some people I hate to say it though, Eddie, some people you just can't accept.
Yeah.
That's true, but you should at least give them the benefit until they prove otherwise.
Yeah,
Because you
yeah.
never
Oh,
know the storm someone's walking through. You
right.
might be that person to be able to to help them change themselves.
Well,
Allard
yeah,
does.
yes, in that scenario, yes, you are 100% right. In the scenario I'm talking about, and you are 100% wrong.
Yeah,
Bro,
some people are
the
not looking
irony
for
in a
help.
name.
I mean,
So, what do you mean by that comment, Dusty? The irony in a name. What do you mean?
Hey, Track. He's trolling. That's Flo.
I know who Flow State is. I've been on his panel.
He's needling you.
No.
He's being provocative.
I don't have a problem with Flow State. He's good people. Ricardo Moon.
okay.
Oh, is that Ricardo Sunshine? Is that the same one?
Yeah,
Oh,
now he's
I
Moon
need his
Rocks.
name untrackable.
You hearing those names, could it have been Miss 702 that sent me you?
I don't know. I know a lot of
702.
people on YouTube.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people. I get around.
I mean,
He's
but
the everywhere man.
I'm hearing certain names, and
Uh-oh.
that's what's coming to me. But
Ricardo,
when
can you turn your camera on?
Oh yeah, Ricardo's one of us. He's cool. He's a good
he
one to
is?
talk mental health with. Hey,
All right,
Ricardo.
Hey,
Ricardo.
Mr.
how's
Sunshine,
it
how
going,
are
guys?
we today, sir?
Sorry,
All right.
Leggy, what did you say?
I said, how are we today, sir?
Oh, I'm quite well, thank you. I've had a busy day, and I'm chilling. I've been chilling now, and I'll be chilling until I go to sleep in the place
Right
I
on.
am. How are you, sir?
I am fine. I am fine. Doing just dandy today.
Excellent,
That's
fine
all
and
you get.
dandy.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah. Dandy's just such a funny word. You can rhyme it with so many things. I love it. I love it.
Candy.
No,
Randy,
Randy.
yeah.
Andy,
Randy,
Brandy,
Candy, Sandy,
Brandy,
Brandy.
Mandy.
Yes.
Yes, you can.
Oh
wow.
my
Yeah.
God.
Handy, yeah.
Well, I'm gonna finish my close up, and then if you guys are all still alive, I'll actually come in and talk a little mental health with you. But I got to
Okay.
count money,
All right.
so I can need about
All right.
15 minutes. Bye, guys.
Okay, that
Cool.
sounds great.
All
We'll see you
right, make
then.
sure you count it right.
It's an important job, that.
So
Oh,
Oh,
it is.
I thought Flow State was talking about, well, the thing is, and then I saw him talking about Untrackables name.
Oh yeah.
oh, untrackable. Yeah. The untrackable,
Untrackable,
trackable.
you
We
find
just
him
call him
everywhere.
Track now.
And trucks.
So
Man,
Well, look, I don't really. I've got to fess up. I don't really have many mental health problems anymore.
Since
I
what?
used to, but you like paranoia is nothing. It's like a flash for half a second. I might get a flash of paranoia, and then it just goes, and
What
I'm
is
like,
your
oh, that's
secret?
nothing.
What helped you?
I wouldn't like to put it down to one thing. There's probably a more combination of things, but yeah, meditation definitely. Meditation helped me like calm my mind down and just focus on what I really wanted from life, and to forget the stuff I did, that wasn't serving me.
I'm guessing
Um,
cannabis is probably not part of the mix, is it?
no, I was definitely going to say cannabis. Yeah, definitely.
Really?
Because
So,
I've been smoking every day since for the last decade or so.
yeah.
So
yeah, but as long as you're staying away from a sativa, a high sativa, anyways, you have paranoia from smoking marijuana put down for anyways. There, Mister
Sure,
Busker.
sure. I don't even get it anymore.
Dude,
Not
I
even the butt.
smoke every kind of fucking cannabis. But I prefer
Mhm.
sativa because it keeps me awake.
Me, I like a nice
Exactly.
hybrid. Nice hybrid.
Yeah, good
Yeah,
hybrid sativa hybrid is where it's at.
hybrids are cool.
Yeah, sativa hybrid.
Yeah,
Or
I
50/50.
can't partake in THC because I get
Such an
I get.
enjoyable pastime as well.
Oh yes, I used to smoke a lot of weed, and then I stopped smoking weed for a long time, and I started
Mhm.
drinking heavy, and then I quit
Oh.
drinking, and I sobered up, and I've been sober 14 years now, and
Mhm.
I tried, smoking, and every time my head would spin, and I would end up in the bathroom
Yeah,
with an
yeah. I
upset
guess it's
stomach.
not for everybody all the time.
Yeah, and I used to be a functioning stoner. I used to be able to run track and field. I used
Yeah,
to play basketball, play
yeah.
football.
It doesn't really
Just
stop me doing anything.
don't ask
You
me
know.
to drive. We're going real
No,
slow. We're going real slow.
I
like
have to
Cheech and Chong.
I have to admit that if I wasn't on clonazepam daily, I wouldn't be able to smoke at all.
Well, you're on temazepam.
Clonazepam, yeah, because it's not it's
Clonazepam.
just anxiety. That's part of it, but
Oh yeah.
it starts with a total entire abdominal muscle spasm that hugs like a
Oh.
bear, and it's just like this spasm that doesn't go away. So
Oh.
it sets something off in my brain, and then I start having anxiety attack / seizure aura, but that's all gone. That's been gone for about 15 years because I've been on these benzos for that long every
Right.
day. But I don't go above a milligram a day of clonazepam. Some people do a whole shitload of it, but I get it
Yeah.
prescribed. I definitely get it prescribed. I'm gonna have to find a
Sure.
new psychiatrist now. I'm having a problem because this place wants me to fucking see a therapist and the psychiatrist on the same first appointment, right? Which would
Mm.
be a 90-minute appointment. I'm like, I don't need a therapist.
Of
This is a
course.
neurological issue, and
Did they say why they wanted a therapist?
that they haven't given me any answer about anything. Like I
You want
just,
to just assume it's something wrong with your head, like they do.
it's not like it's not that kind of thing. Like I could eat
Mm.
if I'm not on clonazepam, I could eat too much and it would just set it off in my brain. It just sets it off. Like if I have too much food in my stomach. That's just one example.
So how
A lot of
how
people.
does the weed help though? What does the
Well, I can. The only reason I can smoke it is because I'm on clonazepam.
right?
That's the only reason. Because if I wasn't on it, it would fucking tear
You'd
my
be sick.
mind up.
Oh,
Mm.
from the anxiety.
Yeah, like it would set it off, and I would still smoke it anyway. But like the thing that would cut that was alcohol, and I can't really do that like I used to, like not at all. And so clonazepam is fine with me for now, as long as I keep getting it prescribed, because that is a horrible withdrawal, dude.
That's what I've heard.
Oh
It's
yeah.
But they would have to taper you, I imagine.
yeah, like they're not going to take me off of it.
Sounds like a wonder drug.
Well,
Or it has been for
in
you.
a way, it's great, but
Mm.
it took away a lot of my soul. Like I don't have the mind for making music because I don't have any real passion for anything or any. And I don't really think about women anymore, or I don't think about like. It's not that I'm turning gay or nothing, but
No,
I don't.
your mojo's gone, right?
Yeah, it's pretty much yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, but like the
I
thing
get it.
that kind of gets me into that realm of mojo is smoking some good herb and playing some tunes while I do that, so that makes up for it. And fucking in my house 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Mm.
Unless I have an appointment. That's it.
That's
You could do a little advert like for MJ. Be like, I smoke herb because it gave me my mojo back or something like that. That'd be
Well,
awesome.
I mean, like it kind of like it, but then once my tolerance is so freaking high, dude, that like
Mm.
I can still get a good buzz going. I mean, this is basically my wake and bake for the day, and I'm feeling good, and that's fine with me.
Fucking tolerant. Holy fuck! Somebody gave me a chocolate bar the other day, and they go, "My friend Matt, he eats 3 pieces of it, and he's out." I ate the whole fucking bar the other night.
THC
I'm
chocolate.
I'm sitting there like, here it is midnight. My wife's like, "What the fuck you doing awake? Didn't you eat that chocolate bar?" I go, "Yep." I go, "Didn't do a fucking thing for me." It's like eating a piece of candy. Edibles
Strong.
edibles don't fuck with me. They really don't. The only one time in my life has edibles ever fucked with me, and that's when I first started dating my wife. We went to the island that her uncle lives on, and he fed me these caramels that he made. Dude, just kept feeding them to me. Feeding them to me. And then eventually he told me what the fuck they were. Dude, I was comatose. I didn't fucking move from the chair all night.
Holy
My wife was
shit.
so mad at me.
Was
Plus, we
that
weren't
Uncle
married at the
John
time.
or Uncle that
Uncle
night?
Danny. Uncle
Yeah,
Danny.
that was him.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
actually
man.
met
Everyone
on the
needs an
street.
uncle
That
like
was a
that.
good night. That was a good night.
Your uncle just kind of like drugged
Didn't
you
we
really.
pop up? I think I popped up on your panel, didn't I, Jeff, with him?
Yeah. Oh, that was that night?
No, it wasn't that
Oh,
night. No.
yeah, yeah. He had a cool little place he was showing us.
So I had a friend. We were at a barbecue, and I had a friend that can't smoke weed, but he can eat the edibles, right?
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm.
So I had some
Oh,
chocolate
shit.
parties. I had some
Okay.
chocolate parties, right? So both my friends ate a piece of chocolate, and 5 minutes in, they're like, this ain't kicking in yet. And I told them prior, I said, it takes about 15 minutes for it to kick in.
At least.
So, at least,
Yeah.
yes. So they're like, we want another piece, right? So I fed them another piece.
The old, yeah.
30 minutes later, right? 30 minutes later.
He's fucking wasted.
So my buddy he's like, yeah, it's time to go in. And he's like, right there, his apartment building's right there. And then my buddy Purpose, which he's an artist, he stands up and he's like, yeah, I don't think I can walk that far.
Oh, shit.
Jesus, them green fucking dots that keep popping up on Ricardo's face. I keep thinking someone's got a fucking laser sight pointing at him.
Oh, I thought you were seeing them where you
I
were.
hope not.
Like, let the
I've got a
abduction
lot.
begin.
No, it's my little laser light
Ricardo
show.
really does have the coolest lights. I want to get
I love
his
this. It's only one thing. I love this thing.
list.
But I'll give you a close up if you want. Oh, is that?
Well,
Is that good?
Ricardo, you definitely have to come to our shirtless disco party with your lights.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Sure. I
Let
don't
me
mind.
know.
I don't
Let me
mind going
know when that
shirtless.
is, so I
Well, when's
remember
good?
not
It
to
might
show
be
up.
tonight. If it's not tonight, it'll be tomorrow.
Well,
You mean
I'm
tomorrow night? Yeah.
shirtless.
No, tomorrow day.
Fucking-
Well,
I
it's.
don't-
I'm in the UK and it's 12. It's 20 past midnight here, so
So it's
It's
better to
already
wait
kind of-
till tomorrow.
yeah.
Okay.
It's already coloured tomorrow for me. But it's not your fault. It's not my fault. Sometimes you stream in the middle of the night, and I'm just like, I completely miss it. I
It's
wake
the
up and
middle
go,
of your night.
yeah, and I look at my
I
notifications,
don't
and I'm like,
stream in the middle of
oh,
the night.
Jeff
What are you
streamed
talking
at
about?
fucking 5 o'clock in the morning or something. Or I might catch the end of it though. But you have, to be fair, Jeff, you have streamed at all kinds of different times.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a regular spot, but
Well,
you know.
my ultimate
You are
dream was to
variable as
have a
well.
24-hour stream. that like
Versatile.
with a team of co-hosts that's always going and people can drop in any time of day.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, you could do that if you
That'd be
pay
cool.
for the stream
Well, it's
yard.
just fine. It's finding the right people. Like that's a lot of trust, and
Well, I mean, who do you trust? I mean, come
that's
on now.
just it.
I mean, let's run it down.
I'm
Let's run
stalled
it
at the
down.
same point I was when I had the idea 2 years ago.
I think you
Trust all your
could.
mods.
I think you could trust the ones that you've given wrenches to, which isn't that many. You could trust them. You could trust Vinny Pots and Pans. You could trust Untrackable.
Hmm.
You could trust Ricardo here.
Yeah. You go.
You could trust. I think we could trust Eduardo up here. I think we could trust Mr. B-More up here.
Eduardo.
Yeah,
Oh,
Eddie.
B-More.
Eddie.
Oh,
Eddie.
B-More's totally
He's
Eddie
trustworthy.
Eduardo.
Mexican.
What are people being elected for?
Yeah,
again?
mi amo Eduardo. Mi amo Eduardo.
Not sure. What are we being signed up here?
Eduardo.
for, Jeff?
Browns, you cracking me up.
Let's go for blue green. It's a bit easier on the eye. What are we signing up here for, Jeff? Sorry, I missed it. I missed the beginning.
Like a 24-hour stream
Shirtless.
mental health channel.
Disco party.
Because we did that during COVID with Zoom. We had like a drop-in Zoom for
24-hour
mental health
stream,
support,
bro?
and we kept it going 24 hours. We had a team of volunteers.
Why?
So you could
I've
you
done
could
that
pull that
before.
off with
Fun.
the YouTube channel with the right people.
I did a
Yeah.
12-hour stream.
12 hours?
Yep. I did a 12-hour
Just trying
stream.
to drop in and out
I've
whenever
done a
we.
few of those.
You know, I'm
my
reading the
best.
comments, and Brown's boy's got a very good point. Like, when I'm digging clams and I'm out there in the flats long enough, I swear them fucking seagulls start saying leggy. Hey, leggy. Hey, leggy. I mean, that's not what they're saying my real name, but I swear to God they're
Oh.
saying my real name.
Vinny,
They're not saying leggy.
No, they're not really saying leggy, but the
there's
women
many pots and pans there, Jeff.
Speaking of mental health,
Hey, yo, Vinny, how you doing today, sweetheart? You do bendovers?
Hey, Leggy, how you doing over there, huh? Hey, Leggy, I'm the lobster that got away. I'm the
That you were. You were, aren't you?
I'm that
You
lobster that
fucking,
got away.
you've been a bad fucking
I
pussycat, haven't you?
All right, language, guys, language.
I rock lobstered my way out of the net. I rock lobstered my way out.
Oh, you've been a bad pea cat. You've been a bad purdy cat. There we go. I'll say purdy cat.
Yeah, I'm a big hairy pussy.
No,
Vinny,
we
how do you
can't
stay
say it.
so
Man, just
mentally
ask us to
healthy?
watch our language, sir.
Happy.
Yeah, language, Vinny Potts. Vinny,
Yeah, that's why I said I
Pretty
changed
hot.
it to putty cat instead of
yes.
the other
I thought
cat.
I saw. I saw a putty cat.
I shall
did,
calm it
I did.
down on my absurdities.
Hey, yo, hey.
Leggy, you need to watch your mouth too, pal.
I know I do. I've been good so far. I've been good so far.
Just saying.
I haven't dropped too many curse words yet.
Leggy's getting them in past the goalie.
Yeah.
well, Vinny,
Yeah.
tell us about mental health. How do you
Mental
maintain
health.
yours,
It's
or
the
keep
health-
yours from falling apart completely?
Yeah.
I would say meditation is key.
And what? Whiskey?
No, meditation.
Meditation.
Well,
is-
That's
whiskey
two for
could be
meditation
key.
so far.
he said meditation is key,
Unless
not
unless it's-
meditation and whiskey.
Leave out the whiskey.
unless it's Tennessee whiskey, you know, the song. Well, that's
Although I'm not gonna lie, I have a little bit of anxiety about tomorrow. I get to go have tea with the governor.
There you go.
No, I don't. The state of Maine does not like our governor. She got booed off of the stage the other day.
Well, why'd they elect her? They need to get her out of there.
Well, because our state is retarded, and it's Southern Maine, not the rest of the Maine.
Oh,
You know, Southern Maine has the bigger population, so really,
what part of Southern Maine, may I ask?
Southern Maine would pretty much be like, in my opinion, would be from Augusta down would be classified as Southern Maine. Then you got like Rockland and shit. That's like that area, which would be like mid coast, and then you have come up through to Bucksport and stuff. That's Union River. That's
So I'll tell you what I know about Maine. Okay. So I lived in Limestone. All right.
oh, that's way the fuck up there.
I painted the lighthouse in Brunswick. Okay. I lived in Lewiston. Oh my God. Horrible city.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I live
Cesspool
right
Mill.
outside of Freeport, Maine. So
Yep.
I know Maine pretty well. What's
Well,
up,
that's
Greg?
southern
What are
Maine.
you doing?
Oh well, I don't know. Limestone's way up in northern Maine, but
Yeah, but I lived in Lewiston and Freeport, so I lived in southern Maine and I lived in northern Maine and I lived in Lewiston, the armpit of Maine.
oh yeah, yeah. That's definitely the armpit. Yeah, there's no
Back
doubt
to
about it.
geography again.
The armpit. I love it.
Yes,
I mean,
Lewiston, Auburn.
Auburn, Lewiston, fucking Portland, Sanford, they're all fucking dumps. Really.
Well, Maine sounds like a shithole.
Southern Maine is. Southern Maine
Oh,
is a
southern.
shithole.
That's a bit.
Like, fuck that, man. That's where all the fucking rich uppity ups fucking live and fucking dude.
All right. All right. Language, the F word.
There you go,
Oh,
Leggy.
that,
There you go.
Did he mention that he's a sailor?
Did you say
I
fuckity fuck?
see that. I used to work on a lobster boat before.
Okay.
Lobster boat. Let the boat rock you, lobster boat. Lobster boat, rock you, lobster boat. Lobster boat, rock you, lobster boat.
That's another thing that helps
It's a
me
lobster
with
boat.
mental
Singing
health.
and dancing.
Yeah, it's
Humor.
it.
Prana.
It's a lobster boat.
Comedy.
We're on the
Musical
waters.
theater.
We're on the
So-
waters trying to entertain the
So
ladies.
rock the boat over.
hold on, the man's trying to talk. The host's trying to talk.
So
That's all we need
Comedy.
is Leggy and his lobster. Leggy the lobster.
Let him talk.
so
Rock the
comedy.
boat, baby.
I'll turn up the mic and get really loud. So comedy helps with mental health.
Yes.
Vinny is
Yes.
a perfect example of that. If you're having a horrible day, invite Vinny up on panel. He'll make you piss your pants.
Let me tell you, over the last couple of, I'd say 10 years, I've probably dedicated quite a lot of my time to watching all the best comedy on YouTube I can find. And I discovered all the best comedians. Bill Burr's my favorite. I think of all
So I
time.
don't know the name of the guy, but this
Love
is like a
Bill Burr.
90s bit and a heavy set fella, but he's doing the Chinese buffet bit.
Oh, Lou
Oh, yeah.
Panette. Lou Panette.
Yeah, yeah.
You go now. You be here for an hour. You
Yes,
you
yes.
see go.
Yeah, yeah. Dude, today you could not get away with that bit today if you wanted to. No way in God's green
You
earth could
go
you do it.
now. You.
But it's funny. That's the thing, though. Like when something's funny, I don't care who you are, you need to laugh. When something's fun in the right time and place, the right joke is hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, you need humor in life. You need to laugh. Just like you
Yeah.
need to cry. You need to laugh.
I mean, I look at comedy like fucking music. Not every type of, not every fucking comedian is your taste, or they're not gonna have content that you like. Like, there's a lot of shit now. Like, I'll be listening to, I'll be laughing to it, but it has a sexual overtone to it. And my wife's like, "What the fuck are you listening to? Excuse my language. What are you listening? What the hell are you listening to? Turn that crap off."
Leggy, does she really sound like that?
Well, she could. I don't know. I think, though, that's what a lot of men do. That when they imitate their wife, they usually come up with some type of voice for her.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
have a wife. There's untrackable.
Track.
Untrackable.
On track, do you have a voice that you do when you're talking about your wife? It's okay if she's there. You just nod your head.
Ooh.
Yeah, my voice when I'm talking about my wife usually sounds very stressed,
Oh.
and like I've disappointed somebody. Like I broke rules, even though I did everything that was asked, and it was just maybe it was because of my demeanor during the whole activity that I didn't want to do, and so it all sounded sarcastic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you. I get you. There's plenty of times where I do shit that I really don't want to fucking do, and I'm like, "What? What do you say?"
Why do you do
No,
it?
I've done the talk to my wife in my imagination of how I could imitate my wife's voice to her face. And it turned into one of those, oh, is that what you think I sound like? And it's like, well, in my head, and
Yes,
you know,
yes, darling,
I can't
honey.
vocals,
Honey bunches
you
your
know,
votes.
like,
Yes, I think you sound like that. Yes.
In my head, in my head.
But Jeff, when you
Zombie,
say you asked a question though,
zombie, I'm a
I
zombie.
do. Yeah, I forgot what it was though. It was untrackable, wasn't it?
This is so Jeff, this is what happens. Usually when I go live and I do a live stream, I talk serious, and then the other half of the show it just goes off the rails. So this is normal.
Oh,
I'm enjoying this.
okay. I think it's
we're,
mentally healthy.
we're a good group of guys up here. Though.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
all
what I
of us-
learned. Like this also is a form of mental health
I'm
Yeah.
enjoying
because
this. I'm
people
enjoying this.
keep coming back for it, and they take something away from it that I think is positive for them.
Kind of like a regular men's group.
Yeah, it's. I think men getting to be themselves is healthy, just like any other group. It's healthy when gay people get to be themselves, trans people, autistic people, whatever. It's healthy when men can get together and be their self. And sometimes it takes forms that don't necessarily look like mental health, but they still can be.
Mm-hmm.
well, yeah, I mean, you guys were talking about comedy, and it's become an understanding of mine. It's like if you're not laughing at your failures, then you didn't fail big enough, and that means I don't trust you.
Oh. I don't trust people who didn't fail spectacularly enough.
So I've laughed at things I failed at. You know.
Oh yeah, it's all you can do.
Yep.
Sometimes it takes it's easier to laugh as time goes by. You can look back and laugh in a way you might not be able to in the immediate aftermath.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it's like me and my captain getting into that fight. We laugh about it every time we get to that draw. We make fun of it.
You
He
and
goes,
who?
"Hey, me and
I was
remember
told-
last summer I told you me and my captain got into it. Well,
Oh
it
yeah.
was." Now we get to the draw. We get to the draw, and we start hauling. And he goes, "You know what traps these are?" And then he'll turn around. And he goes, "You got an attitude?" "No, but I can." That's because that's how it all started.
I fell off a 40-foot ladder one time. I didn't land on the ground. I landed in a tree.
Yeah.
I wish I would have landed on the ground. Landing in the tree was pretty painful.
Damn.
But
you know,
there's
there's something to be said about understanding failure and learning to laugh, and that is
So
that somebody
hold on
tells
a
you,
sec.
hey, oh yeah, go ahead, please.
So this is where it gets funny. All right. They lift the ladder out of the tree. The paint bucket was still hooked to the ladder. The paintbrush was still in the cup bucket, and no paint spilled. And I said to the boss, I might have hurt the tree, but at least I didn't spill the paint.
Yeah, dude, that's like luck right there.
Yeah.
Like two kinds of luck, like good luck and bad luck.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I had to go to the hospital.
That's gotta suck, man.
Two kinds of luck.
Yeah, dude, I can imagine.
But I didn't spill no paint.
Whatever.
Benny.
Oh God. Why were you painting a tree?
Now I was painting a college dorm.
Oh.
The soffits around the college dorm, which was off of a 40-foot ladder, fully extended. all the way at the top.
I
Take
pictured
this
the
off.
scene, Eddie. I pictured the scene in Animal House with Belushi sneaking in the sorority girl's window, peeking in with the ladder. You ever see the scene? And she's
Yes.
undressed in front of the window, and as he's starting to get a boner, and he just fucking just goes right back and just woo.
See, that's healthy.
That scene just happened. I don't know. I got downloaded that scene right now.
Oh my word.
Oh, that girl had some set of tits in the. Oh, sorry, that's clean show.
Eddie's getting too in depth with that scene.
Yeah.
Well, you're talking about ladders and trees and falling out of shit. That's just the only scene I got it with.
Oh my god. Leggy,
Yeah.
you know Brown's
I saw
boy?
something. Sorry, go ahead.
You know who Brown's boy is?
I've heard the name. It's a handle on YouTube, right? I don't know.
Yeah, I've seen him around for a while.
He's one of
That's cool.
ours. That's Browns. That's Lanza.
Yeah, he's like. how
He's
many
just trolling.
times
He's just
does
being
Leggy
funny.
catch crabs per month?
Because Leggy catches crabs for a living. Get it? Ha ha. How many times a month? How many crabs?
Leggy catch.
Lobsters, sir. I catch lobsters for a living. Crab is
You
a
don't
fucking
catch not
byproduct.
one crab ends up in your bucket, in your traps.
No, I catch. I mean, we do, but it's
So
a
you don't want to answer the
byproduct.
question and
Like,
tell
we're
us how
not
many a
actually-
month.
Leggy's
What? How
rock.
many crabs a month? I don't know. Probably a couple thousand
Wow, it's
pounds a
sunny
month.
over there. I love these back roads in
His
Maine.
camera makes it look like he's just split in the middle of
This
the
ain't
road.
a back road.
Right
This
over
is
the
the
yellow
main
line.
road. What are you talking
Oh,
about?
it looks like
ain't
our
no
back
back
When you keep the
road.
crops,
Leggy, you're hogging the damn lane. Stay to the right.
as long as you keep the crops away from your crotchal region, give you a serious nip.
I can't believe it's
What?
still that sunny over there.
You just put some real eerie music and a voice. In a world where a man catches lobsters out for revenge, somewhere in the Northeast, in the Atlantic, Hillary will strike. Hide your lobsters. He's going to take your lobsters. Hide your lobsters. Something like
So
that.
you going home for the day, Leggy?
Like he's heading out to the lake to take care of business on some fucking people who are renting out camp or something. In a world where people owe money for
This
lobsters.
is very soothing too for
In
my
a
mental
Very
world.
clear roads,
In a
not much
world
traffic.
where Leggy is collecting his lobster money. Dun, 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 dun. It
looks
has
kinda like
a
a
70s effect to it, like
Trading fresh lobsters for cash.
like an Alfred Hitchcock
Mhm.
road.
yeah.
I went on a lobster boat once. Never did it again.
On what?
I went on a lobster boat once. Never
Oh.
did it again. I said I'll stick to painting houses.
Did you get
And
bit
falling out of trees.
or pinched? I mean,
No.
Ooh, a dirt road, Leggy. Where are you
Off
going?
road.
I love this.
Hey,
I almost fell in the ocean, pulling in cages.
Oh wow,
damn.
Leggy, where
Yeah,
are?
and-
What
and-
is
and-
I'm taking you
this?
down to show you
This
this
looks
house.
like something from True Detective.
I feel like I've taken you down to. I feel like I've shown you this house down here before. This
I
house.
think
that's-
maybe at the dark in the dark or a different time of day.
Yeah, it might have been dark when I come down.
But
Like
I love it.
Night of the Living Dead looking kind of like lighting kind of. It looks kind of reminds me of that Night of the Living Dead in color.
that was a bit eerie.
Yeah. This looks like where Leggy's problems disappear somehow.
What do you
Scene
say
of
where
the
my
abduction.
problems disappear?
Yeah. Leggy likes to make problems disappear in the woods. Hint, hint, wink, wink, allegedly.
What's up,
Yeah, you ever
David?
see that A Place Beyond the Pines?
That's a show. It sounds
It's a
familiar.
movie. It's a movie.
Who's in it? It
sounds familiar.
does sound familiar.
Beyond
Is it
the
Tom
pines.
Skerritt?
Sounds like a musical.
The Gosling dude and
So
there's another one in,
Ryan.
but
It's
it's
David.
about cops. Kind of make something happen on a scene, and then somebody grows up to be a cop.
Who is that way out here? What are they doing?
Good, how are you?
Not bad. Nice night out here.
It is nice night out here.
Yeah.
Come down, see if
Are
the
y'all
house
like
is still
checking in
standing
with
yet.
each other to
It
make
made
sure?
it another year.
Jesus, it surprises me.
It does.
I come up here every year. Couple
The
times a
guy's
year,
thinking,
check
oh my
on
God,
this
Leggy
shit.
caught me burying one of my
Have a good one.
I love this. And
He's
he has
burying
no
his
idea,
problems,
like
too.
the entire Paddleverse is watching him.
He's burying his problems too, Leggy.
You never know, like that can happen to any of us anywhere. Somebody could be streaming to an entire audience and you would never know.
Bit of an
In
adventure,
your
isn't it?
interaction
Oh, yeah.
with the
Well, the
random
other day,
stranger.
I was sitting up on the Barrens, and this old guy come talking to me. I've never talked to him a day in his life. He got out of his truck, come over, started talking to me like I've known him my whole life. I'm like, okay.
That's cool. I love it when old people talk to me.
Eventually, you won't be able to do this. This will all be a fucking fish factory. They're putting a huge ass fish factory up here.
What?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Wow, it must be big if it's
I
going
would
to
have said
cover
a
all
pig
that.
farm.
Well,
You'd be able to really get rid of your problems.
yeah.
do they send it to China to be packaged and then sent back? I've heard of that.
What? The fish factory? No, they're gonna raise these fucking fish and
So it's gonna be local. That's cool, man. Shit, yeah, dude.
all that.
So they're gonna do local farms. That's cool.
Well, I don't know about. It's gonna be local, but I think it's like a Norwegian owned company.
That doesn't sound very local. But the Chinese are doing it anyway, so the Norwegians might as well get in on it.
Yep.
Oh, it's
Wow, is this the coast? The ocean, the Atlantic?
it has fallen down a little bit more, but it's still.
Oh, you're losing signal. No, Browns boy. I had a goldfish when I was a kid, and it was a mess. I hated changing the water and fishing out the doo-doo and all that stuff. So it was not the pet for me. So I never
Standing
tried to
there.
have another fish since.
Scotto, what's going on, Scotto?
Look at this house. It's crazy that it's still
Oh my
standing. They even
God,
tried
it's
to
cool.
tear
It's
it.
like a
They
Stephen
even tried to
King
tear it down
house.
with rope. I mean, it's
Dude.
taking a beating because this corner here's all collapsed. When I first moved down here and
Wow.
started coming up here, this corner wasn't collapsed. I mean, there was no wall there, but it hadn't collapsed yet. You could technically go upstairs and walk across it if you felt froggy enough.
You show us the coolest stuff.
Was it
And then,
damage from the weather?
who knows? Just abandoned.
Okay, so
Abandoned house. It's old.
Is
sea-
there
It's an old
graffiti on
sea
the wall
captain's
or
house.
paintings?
There's a little bit of graffiti, but not like what you would see in like a city, in like a fucking trap
Or a
house.
True Detective episode?
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Yeah, we used to go
Yeah.
find places like that growing up as kids. We loved exploring that kind of stuff.
So untrackable, you know Scotto?
Oh yeah, me and Scotto, we are.
There.
Do tell.
I love Scotto. Scotto's my man.
So Scotto's is I've known Scotto a while.
Yeah.
Scotto is
I love the ocean.
one of my favorite openly gay men.
Oh, Scotto's gay?
Yeah.
Is he single?
Yeah.
He
And
definitely.
is he a daddy?
He definitely turned me gay. I tell you what.
Just asking for a
Oh,
friend.
interesting. Might have to meet this Scotto.
The-
Leggy,
Uh,
this is oh my I can't pull away.
Shifty.
Man, this is some of the
Hey,
best thing.
Shift.
This is like immersive.
When shift happens,
Hey,
Hey,
Is it gonna-
Shift.
Shift.
My forever Shift.
What's up? How's your
Hello.
mental health today?
I check.
I'm delightful, thank you. How are you? How are y'all?
Pretty good.
I'm
We're
good.
having a good time. We're having a
Yeah,
good
I'm
time.
enjoying myself. It's a nice, relaxed, troll-free, drama-free panel
I'm the closest thing to a
devoted to
troll
mental
up here.
health.
Oh, that's so beautiful. It's so beautiful.
I just look like a troll.
Well, some of us have to. I'm
Are
sorry.
you even on a road anymore? This is
Well,
this is guard. This is oh my god! I could
not
stay on
really.
here all night. I want a
We kind of
tent.
made. It's kind of been made.
Certainly off the beaten track, though.
Off road, yeah,
It's off
dude.
of all the tracks.
Are you in some like,
Oh, it loops back around to the road.
Oh,
are you in some like off-road mobile? Or like one of those car boats?
Shift, your
I
voice
think he's
is
just in
kind
his
of
little car.
Who?
shift. Your mic is kind of muffled.
Oh, there's a.
Oh, hers.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
look at this beach right here. Like this is what. Like I wasn't joking when I said I have one of the fucking top like 10 beaches. Like look at this. It's all fucking rock.
Oh, show us the beach.
Look at it.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
that's the kind of beaches you get murdered on.
No.
TV shows.
Look at that. That's all good soil. Look at that. If you wanted to, you could dig all that out, and that'd be good soil.
Mm-hmm.
Is your temperatures in 70 Fahrenheit around there, 60 something, 70,
Oh, there's a
Hey,
lot of
look, the
stone.
buoys.
or is it hotter than that?
Oh yeah, because everybody loves to go to a beach where there's no dudes with their shirts off.
Where's the
Oh
sun?
yeah. Of course, this is all. But I love it.
Leggy,
Down the road, down that way there. There's it's all sand that way.
Mm.
When the tide drains out, see.
Leggy
What?
won't get in the
Well,
water
that's
right now
fine.
because it's too cold.
No, my kids would though. I wouldn't, but my kids would.
How's the
They
temperature?
wanted to
right
go
now?
swimming today.
It's almost like 100 degrees here.
Fuck no, it's only like
Wow,
60
that's
something.
not. Oh yeah,
now.
y'all have that heat wave coming. I saw it on the news.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, we do. But look at all the layers of soil. Like look,
Man, oh fuck.
like
This
look
kind
at
of
the
stuff
different layers.
excites me so
Sedimentary.
much.
Sedimentary
Like
rock.
just look at it.
I could
Yeah,
stay
look
on
at
here
it.
all night. Like I wouldn't even want to go
Fucking
back to the
beautiful.
house.
I mean, I imagine each one of these layers is at least a year,
Mm.
if not more. But like, because you can literally see like the bands. Like there's a band there, like right there is a chunk,
Mm.
and then it's like here, and then here. Like it's cool. I like coming down, seeing the erosion because just shows you how old the shit is.
Historical.
Because really, underneath all this is this. Like this is what's under all this, essentially. When you get right down
Well.
to it, it's this because.
Mm.
So. Oh fuck, that'd be good. Hey, look at that. That's good
Wow,
wood
that
to
was
take to
probably
go
there
back.
when the Pilgrims landed.
That's some good firewood.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, I
somebody
just
started
said that.
making a bonfire.
Yeah,
Be a
you
nice
could
place
do
to-
a
You do.
fire
I do. I
right
want to
on the
make a
beach.
fire right now on the beach.
You ever see anybody down there?
Camp out.
No, there ain't nobody down here.
We saw that car. There was somebody.
Well, yeah, but
What was
now
he
there's
doing?
not.
What was his story? Did you find out? Damn it! He froze up.
And the dog, him and his wife.
Oh,
I put my lights on.
I think your signal is weak.
Yeah, if I was gonna end it all at the ocean, I definitely wouldn't take my dog and my wife with me.
Yeah.
Just a nice day out there.
Yeah, his internet's weak. Yep, his
Yeah,
internet's weak.
Untrackable.
Down.
That was
Oh, there
funny.
he goes.
I'm back.
He's back.
So going back
He
to
came
comedy
back.
again a minute. I don't know about anybody. Did anybody else watch George Carlin? Because I used to love George Carlin.
He was
Oh
okay. I
yeah.
watched him
Who
growing
don't love
up, but
George Carlin?
he
Yeah.
was
Fucking
never my
hilarious.
Yeah.
favorite.
Yeah, man. He's like spot on about a lot of shit.
Mm-hmm. It kind of opened my eyes about a lot, quite a few things.
Yeah.
And I just thought this is true, but it's still comedy. And then I was got me thinking, how is this guy able to get away with saying all of this? Because if he was on a podium somewhere preaching, he might not. He might get shot or whatever. But because it's comedy,
Yeah, somehow
gives
like
him more freedom. It's
I
kind of
think
fucking awesome.
something that he was somebody that was controversial, like especially with right wing people.
Yeah. He didn't like religion much.
Yeah,
Who
like
y'all talking about?
George Carlin.
Oh,
The late great comedian.
The one that used to smash fruit, right?
Gallagher. Yeah,
That's
I used to love him.
George Carlin is not.
But then there was Bill Hicks as well. I used to love Bill Hicks before him.
Oh yeah, he was.
I just looked up George Carlin. Yeah, I enjoyed his comedy.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah, he was good too.
Oh
I
yeah,
like some of his movies.
I've seen him a bit.
Yeah, Vinny Potts is obsessed with Rodney.
How about Sam Kinison?
He was okay. Is he the one that screamed? That was Bob.
Oh yeah, he was on.
Go away.
Bobcat Goldthwait. He's
Yeah, I
fucking
didn't.
off the head.
He's funny, but I didn't like the screaming.
Yeah, dude, that was kind of irritating.
Is he just out of control or what? Is he autistic?
Yeah, you got it. You got it.
Just, I mean, I know he's an actor, but how much of that is real?
I don't
and
know. I
how much
think
of it
it's
is
real
acting?
because he was in Shakes the Clown too, and he acted the same way.
Makes you wonder. I saw him in Police Academy. That's where I first saw him.
That's right. Yeah, me too.
Funny as fuck.
Let's see what's wrong with him.
He
He
was in-
looks good
he
as
was
an
in
adult,
several
like
Police
as a
Academy.
daddy. Bobcat is.
You know who I miss? You know who I miss doing stand up?
Shit's back.
Is Eddie Murphy.
Who? Oh, I love Eddie.
Yeah, he was good.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Eddie Murphy Raw.
He was like the comedian of our generation.
I love Eddie Murphy. He was awesome.
Delirious and Raw were
I
Yeah.
love.
Oh yeah,
phenomenal. Stand
Raw
up.
and delirious.
that's another bit that would never. That was another stand-up routine that would never get away with today.
He did. If Eddie could do it, the door is open. It's not closing.
You know who got away with a lot of things recently? It was Dave Chappelle.
Oh yeah,
Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle.
You can't
He's
cancel
really
him.
Who's that dude that was in Half Baked? That white guy. What's his name? He's a comedian. He's. Oh, what's his name? I think it's an Irish last name, maybe.
Regan.
What's the movie?
Half Baked.
Yeah, with was that Dave Chappelle
Yeah, it was the white dude.
and Jim Breuer and
Jim
the
Brewer.
Latino
Yeah,
dude?
dude. He was talking all about all the shit that has gone down before it went down.
Mm-hmm.
He's like totally on par with shit, man. I think he's totally awesome.
Yes, I like Richard Pryor.
Yeah,
Yes.
Oh,
Richard was cool.
that reminds me of another guy, Beemore, that you were talking about. Kind of foretold stuff before it happened. Cat Williams.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
right.
his eyes are open. He knows what's going on.
Yeah.
He woke.
He's
I like
still
Cat
alive.
Williams. You can't cancel
I
him.
saw I saw something today where it was Adam Sandler talking to Brendan Fraser, and apparently Encino Man, which was a Pauly Shore movie, came out, and Adam Sandler was like, "Hey, no, this guy, he can be way more than a caveman," and it came out to be Airheads. They kind of like, I guess it's the industry. They were describing about how producers and actors, if they get a hold of you and they find gold, that they want to hang on to you. And Adam Sandler was like, no, we really need this guy. So he said, hey, if this man is not in Airheads, I'm not going to be in Airheads. And next thing you know, Brendan Fraser is Brendan Fraser.
Instead of Adam Sandler.
Oh no, not instead of Adam Sandler, but they wanted him. Adam Sandler said, if this dude isn't here, because he saw Encino Man, long hair, looking like a caveman, could easily just flip a switch and be a musclehead guitar player or something like that. Adam Sandler.
Encino Man. I saw it at the theater. Jax, he's still around. He did that movie, The Whale. I think he got awards for it too.
Yeah, that was his comeback. The Whale.
And that was like a few years ago. Yeah, so he made a big splash at the Oscars a few years ago with his new movie.
You're talking about the same guy that
it was like a tour de
Mummy.
force acting role of a performance of a lifetime.
The same guy that was in The Mummy.
His disappearance, and it reminds me of what's that Christian quarterback from Florida that went to the Broncos. But they kind of blackballed him because he wanted to act and have fun making movies. When this football player, he wanted to play football, but when it came to the after stuff, it's like, no, I'm not going to participate in that. I'm, going to praise Jesus and.
Was he black?
No.
Oh, okay.
Ain't nothing like getting blackballed. Am I right, panel?
Nothing like a white person getting blackballed.
I
Welcome back, Schiff.
Can you hear me?
Kinda, you were a little choppy. Tim Tebow.
Is it better? Is it better now?
Tim.
Keep talking.
Maybe.
Keep talking. We'll keep talking.
It's a little glitchy.
What the frick? All right. Well, I just want to say you're so close to 1,000. Yay. Okay.
I know I was at 1,000 though, and I backslid. I'm gonna count that 1,000 because YouTube let me turn on the next layer, so I'm gonna count that as official. So we're gonna have our party tomorrow. Our Discord.
Oh, tomorrow. Okay. Well
because Ricardo has lights, and he needs to be there.
Okay.
But I might do a stream later tonight, like a pre-funk.
Tomorrow, there's always tomorrow. It's only a
You know what Tim Tebow did? Tim Tebow.
Take care, track.
Right?
Yeah, Trackable.
Good track.
Yep. So
Tim Tebow.
Tim Tebow's foundation, right? Helped rescue 28 kids here in Florida, northern Florida.
From what?
28 missing kids.
Damn.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Where were they?
They didn't release that information yet. They're still working things. They just showed that they rescued 28.
This was recent.
Yeah, 3 days.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they were being trafficked.
And then 2.5 weeks ago, they rescued 109 children and arrested 244 predators.
Tim Tebow?
In northern Texas. No, not Tim Tebow, another organization. in northern Texas.
So people are starting these organizations to go after the predators.
Yep. So they're helping fund these organizations to go after these perpetrators.
Oh, I see.
Help
the
expose them. Mm.
I'm just hoping nothing happens to Tim Tebow, because that's $1 billion organization that he's infringing in. And, you know, if something happens to him, you know that it wasn't him who did it. That's the reason why I think
It seems almost too late now, if it's out.
Yep. So, anybody remember the lead singer, Soundgarden, Chris Cornell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, his son came out. Not Chris Cornell's son. Chester Bennington's son came out and believes that there was foul play with Chester Bennington's life.
So-called suicide.
Yep.
Mm.
He believes it wasn't.
I could believe that too. Apparently, that I heard they were doing, Chris and Chester. They were both organizing. They were working on some documentary or something that was going to expose, you know, something or other. So,
yep.
Yeah, that's why, you know, they were get rid of.
Chris Cornell and his wife created a foundation, and when he passed away in 2017, that foundation hasn't been active.
Yeah.
So,
why do they even need these foundations if the authorities are doing their job? Do they just not have the capacity?
See, it's a worldwide thing, right? It's a worldwide thing. It's not just an American thing. It's worldwide. So a lot of these children get taken and sent to other countries and sold off. Okay. And
names changed.
So this wasn't even all in America that you're talking about?
With the Chris Cornell Foundation, no. With the Tim Tebow situation, it was here in Florida, yes. With Northern Texas, it was here in the U.S., yes.
That's a lot of kids. Like
total
in
of
one state
100
or one area.
Yeah. You know.
Hey, teacher, leave our kids alone.
So, here on this channel, when I see an article where children have been rescued, I share it. Because me, being a survivor of sexual abuse, when I hear that and see that, I respect it. And
Sure.
Yeah.
I do too. It's not my thing to watch. I just don't get off on watching people squirm and shit. Like it's just not. It's not nice.
Hey, Nick.
Are we having a party?
Each to their own.
so I support people who rescue these children. I really do.
Of course.
Hey, Jeff, can you
I
hear
was
me?
related to Chris Cornell. I'm still
yeah?
related to him, even though he's no longer alive.
Oh.
Hey, Jeff, can you hear me?
Cousin, fifth or sixth cousin.
Hi, Nick.
Yeah. Is that Nick?
We can hear you.
Okay. I fixed my good mic just for your party.
Oh yeah, that sounds really good.
I know, I feel like
well, I thought we'd have the party tonight, but Ricardo said it's better if we do it tomorrow because he has all the cool lights.
Oh, okay. Then I can get some.
We can do it in the morning though, and like do an all-day thing. I have to get laundry done, but after that, I'll be free.
I think I'll stop by the green store then. You know, it's a party. You got to have day
And it's a
drinking. out of-
shirtless disco
Oh, it is
party.
shirtless. Oh, now I gotta fix my camera then. You don't want to see me with my shirt off.
Well,
I had
it's
the
optional
surgery.
though. Shirt's optional.
I had this surgery which took out my gallbladder, and so it left these tiny little like uh, scars on my belly. It looks like I got shot. I even showed it to my students. Like, look, I got shot.
Oh, that would be cool to see.
Damn.
Well, they go in with like these tiny machines. Like they don't open you up. They just go through these little holes. It was really kind of cool.
Wow.
They let me see it afterwards. It was kind of gross.
Wow.
I bet.
It does what?
Let's turn my camera around
Does
and
sound like a
let
party.
you watch the lights. Go on.
But
I was just on Neurojack's channel talking to Unseen Warfare. He rage quit on me again.
Oh my god, I attempted that too. I didn't last like 2 minutes with the guy.
Well, he met
He
his
accused
well,
me of all kind of stuff.
You know me. He's very good at getting other people to get irritated. But like I said before, with the exception of Dutchy, I never lose my temper on the internet, and he rage quit on me. He called me an idiot and stupid, and then ran away.
Oh.
Which is actually not that dumb. Like he knows his stuff. I'll give him that. But
Panelverse, what do you mean you're homeless? What? I didn't know
It's childish to rage quit, though, isn't it?
this was going on.
well, that's the whole
Well,
point of
I mean,
I
people sometimes I've left panels before too. I don't know if you want to call it rage quitting, but sometimes I have to take myself out of the immediate situation. There's no point.
Well, that's
I'm not going to
different.
benefit from
That's like-
continuing to be there.
No, that's being able to read a situation, knowing where you don't feel you're not being made to feel welcome, and getting the fuck out of there. And that's not the same as losing your fucking marbles, and
Oh no!
Mm.
Usually I fight. If I'm
Usually
losing my
rage.
marbles, I'm ready to stay and fight.
Yeah.
Well, I'm writing
That's
I'm writing a treatise on the art of troll. I got motivated because I realized there are a lot of people running around calling themselves troll, like I'm the world's greatest troll or this, but they don't know what trolling is. Trolling is an art.
I know an individual that calls himself the world's greatest troll.
I know a bunch of those.
Yeah. Well,
We
I'm
haven't
putting
had
together some. Hold on.
Where can we find this? When is it going to be released? Published? Available? The Troll Manifesto.
So, what time do you think you're going to start your live stream?
I don't know. What's your plan? You want to wrap this one up?
Shortly, I'm going to wrap this up in a few minutes.
I might take like an hour or so for dinner and
Yeah, I'm hungry.
relax and stuff, and then come back because it's early here. It's only 5,
So it's 8:08 here.
and then I can do like a little pre-stream, pull in a few more subs, and then tomorrow, hopefully, I wake up to 1,000, and we can do the shirtless disco party.
So I used to, when I was young and cool, DJ in West Hollywood. And I'm really good at DJ. Do you know what Italo disco is?
Yeah, I have. Oh my God, I have a ton of Italo
Dude,
disco.
I
on my
have.
drive.
That's like my thing.
Well,
I
do
love
you? The problem with actual, because we wanted to do like a panel dance, but it's finding music that will pass copyright. And the guy that did it last time had his own music that we could dance to, and that's how we were able to do it. But I haven't been able to duplicate it because I don't know how to find the kind of music that you can
Well,
use. And not
I have
control.
like a couple of I'll look up like some classic good.
But if there's something you can DJ that does it that won't get copyright.
Do you know who Giorgio Moroder is?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
From,
so
from the
he
70s, Donna Summer.
he DJ'd close to my house. It was funny. I told my wife, like, "Oh, we have to go see Giorgio Moroder," and she didn't know who he was. Now, of course, everybody knows his music; they just don't know who he is.
Well, everyone that grew up in the late 70s.
Yeah, and well, even in the '80s, like What a Feeling, Never Ending Story.
I thought that was Lamal.
No, that's all produced and written
Oh,
by
produced
Giorgio
by-
Moroder, and
He also produced that Sparks album.
mm-hmm. And I went to go see him, and of course he's really old. I brought one of my keyboards. I was like, "Oh, please sign it," but I couldn't get backstage,
Oh,
which was
my
really shitty
keyboard.
because the guy knew me who was at the door, but he didn't let me. I was very sad about that. Sorry, that was my story.
Yeah, I used to. I met. So being a bouncer and being a bodyguard for certain people, you meet celebrities.
Mhm.
One person I wanted to meet, and I got to meet him, and I was actually glad I got to meet him. Was DMX.
Oh,
Oh, neat.
DMX.
I was up north in New Hampshire. I was in my early 20s, and I was a bouncer at a nightclub. And he had did a show at the arena, and he came to the club afterwards. And the owner of the club came up to me and said, "Since you have the nastiest hands in the venue, I want you to be at the door when this guy comes in. You're going to escort him through the whole club." I said, "Okay," not knowing who it was. So, thank you, Willow. A Suburban came in. Suburban pulls up, and out gets DMX.
Oh, neat.
And I'm about to have, like, you know how when you meet a celebrity and you're like, "Oh my God," and you're about to panic and freak out and shit like that. I'm doing that inside my skin, and I'm keeping it composed on the outside. But in the inside, I'm jumping for joy, doing backflip somersaults. I was doing things I didn't think possible in my brain. But
Nice.
so I escorted him through the club. We had upstairs, downstairs, and then we had VIP lounge. So we go downstairs, and there's a DJ booth. And he goes up to the DJ booth, and he's like, "You got a microphone?" And he did like 2 songs for the whole crowd for free.
Oh, nice.
Right? And which was cool. And then we go up to the VIP lounge, and he offered me a drink, and the owner looks at me, and he's like, "Go ahead." I'm like, "All right." So I got drunk with DMX. Good times, good times. And then I met Molly Hatchet. I met the band Molly Hatchet. I met Jethro Tull. I met when I was a bodyguard for a small rock band. They opened up for a lot of big names, and I got to meet them.
Oh yeah, that's the best way to like meet celebrities. Like if you're like an opening act.
Yeah.
I've met quite a few with that. Remind me
You were
tomorrow
an
when I
opening
tell you
act?
how I ended up doing a jam session at the Ruby Room with the members of the Eagles using a real Hammond B3. It's kind of a funny story.
You had a band, Nick?
Yeah, I used to be cool.
What, what was your band?
Mustang.
And I used to be a touring musician, and then I retired and studied physics. And
Oh wow.
there are few celebrities who I was excited to meet, but I've learned never meet
See,
your
that's
heroes.
humbling. I'm humbled right now hearing that.
What was your main instrument?
I play keyboard,
Keyboards.
synthesizer.
Cool. I play keyboards too.
And for live shows, like I know how to use a lot of like production software. So like, generally that all falls on who's ever playing keyboard to do, like, starting click tracks, triggering loops, stuff like that.
That Brian Eno shit.
Yeah. And we end up having to carry more stuff around than the freaking drummer does. The rule is you pack up your own gear, and I'm just like lugging around these like road cases. I'm just like, ugh.
So I've met some really down to earth celebrities in my life, and then I met a couple of them that I didn't care to meet.
Yeah, some of them can be assholes.
Yeah.
The only one who there's this band called Placebo, and there's this running joke like I would really like to choose to be gay because I think the lead singer is really hot. It just doesn't work. But then when I saw him up close, like his teeth were all rotted from freaking meth, and
Oh no.
he didn't seem like
So
a nice
you
guy.
remember the band Godsmack?
I remember Godsmack. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Godsmack. Yep.
Yeah.
So they're from New England, all right, like Massachusetts, New Hampshire, right? And when I was younger, I was in a youth group, and the lady who ran the youth group was friends with the entire band. So whenever they came into Manchester, New Hampshire for a show, I got to get backstage passes.
Oh, nice.
So the last show I went to, I didn't know at the time that the lead singer, Sully, was a heroin addict.
Oh.
Oh wow.
He's sober now. But that song Voodoo, that's what it's about. The song Voodoo. I put
Oh, interesting. I've got many road stories. Some of them funny. Some of them like, oh my god, what the hell are you doing? Of course, I had a rule. Like the only thing I would drink before going on stage is this liquor, Grand Marnier. It's like sort of orange-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I get stage fright just like anybody else. You just take a shot of that. It also sort of lubricates the throat for if you have to do backup vocals. But you play sober because, well, it's you got to be on your game, especially if you're not the big star and you're just sort of like, you're the one playing keyboard in the back for, they're all allowed to do whatever they want on stage, but you got to be perfect. That's what you're getting paid for.
Yeah, my Uncle Bernie, you're right. My Uncle Bernie was a drummer for the band Rat before Rat got famous.
Oh, nice.
And my Uncle Bernie was so messed up during a set that he walked off stage and he got kicked out of the band, and then shortly after they got signed. So if you ever hear the song Right Round by Rat, that's my uncle playing drums.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I even got to. We didn't record at Capitol, but we mastered our album there, and that building in LA. That was kind of cool. They give you these passes, which after 2 days, like this red ink shows up, so you can't keep using them. You always have to get a new one. My last gig was with a tribute band. Tribute bands are fun because they pay well. But I always have a rule, like the problem with the tribute band is it's kind of like you're this huge rock star because the crowd thinks you're a huge rock star, but you're really not. You're just pretending. And I remember we started a show and like I played the first 3 notes and I was like, my God, I got 2.5 hours of this so I can go home, because I wanted to go home, and it was a show close to my house. And that's when I said, okay, I'm done.
Did you ever have to dress up like anyone famous?
No. But well, I'll tell you what, the tribute band. It was I don't know if you know the band Oingo Boingo. Danny Elfman.
Danny Elfman.
Yeah, it was a fairly big. They still play here in Southern California. I actually helped start that band with my friend Rob, and we became somewhat of a. Because here in Southern California, there was always this tradition that like during Halloween you go see Oingo Boingo. Like it used to be this big thing, but then the band broke up, and so we sort of restarted it in 2001. In fact, I'll send you Jen. There's a video of her first show at the House of Blues, but after doing that for like, because I mean it's a real gig. Even though it's not your music, it's a real gig. And then I said, I want to do my own stuff, and so I'm like, I'm done. But that one we used to get paid under the table. Maybe I shouldn't say that out loud. I don't think they do anymore because there's.
I don't know if there's probably statute of limitations.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know come after you now for that.
But I got a bunch of funny pictures of it.
How you doing? So one thing now you can't pay under the table because of ASCAP and BMI.
Oh yeah, they have all these stupid rules, like the amount of breaks you get during rehearsal. Just like when you make movies, like craft services comes. They treat you well.
You made a movie?
No, but all the
Oh.
things like the like the Screen Actors Guild. When it comes to musicians, especially those who are like hired guns, they have all these rules. Like after a certain amount of time, you have to get food and they have to cater it.
Yeah, that's how
even
the
on-
labor laws. A lot of the companies have that too here.
Like on tour, we
They
had
don't
to
wanna get
have like
sued.
minimum accommodations. But I played with some bands which we didn't follow those, and those sometimes can be fun. I remember once I was in this band and I was dating the bassist. That made tour a lot funner.
You remember the movie RoboDoc, the national.
I know the
Lampoon?
movie. I've never seen it though.
So my friend did the soundtrack for that movie,
Oh, nice.
and the soundtrack for that whole movie is only 1 minute and 35 seconds.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I'll put my page in the backstage. I've got some of my old music videos for the band where we did the stuff at Capitol. It's kind of cool because all of the music and everything I did right here at home. Because now with computers and I mean you can have a high-end studio quality recording at home.
Oh yeah, all the new artists are making home studio recordings.
Yeah, in fact, most
Laptop recordings even.
The whole thing with labels is kind of all weird now, but like I was doing this like when I left around 2000, I think 7. At that time, even with us, the label requires you to have your album finished. Like it's not one of those where, they see you at a coffee shop singing with a guitar. It's like, no, you have to have everything done. The only thing which the label did was pay for tour, and which required negotiation so that we don't get screwed, and mastering the album. That was it.
Yep.
The rest of it was recorded. We had a studio in Venice on Horizon Avenue, right in front of the beach, and we did everything there. The only live instrument was, of course, vocals, and we had an acoustic guitar. Everything else I recreated with computers, like from orchestration, like percussion. I played, but not with a drum set, but played with you call them triggers. And then in the computer, like we could switch out the snare. I said, "Oh, let's put this one in." Oh no, I don't like that snare. Let's put another one in. It's actually far superior.
What year did you make the album?
Would have been like, I think 2006.
Okay.
And to promote it, because back then we had MySpace. MySpace was great for music.
Oh, I know. That's why I got into it because of all the music.
Yeah, and back then people weren't as computer savvy. So, we created a script which would give us a certain amount of plays every day. So if anybody important looked at it, they'd be like, oh, you got a bunch of listeners. And how we got in contact with Capitol was total BS, because you can't, in order to do this, you have to have like your own lawyer. Like you can't just go and say, hey, would you listen to my demo? Back then, spoofing emails wasn't something which everybody knew you could do. So we picked this like entertainment lawyer in New York. I made this music video for a song. We just said, let's just make a song which sounds like a hit. So we did it. It's on my
Wait, do you still have it?
Yeah, it's on I'll put it in the back chat. I uploaded it. Give me a second to find it. And we sent it and said, hey, you got to take a look at this. 2 days later, we got an email back.
So
Now
you like used MySpace and hacking to get your
Well, yeah,
record deal?
because then we put, here's our MySpace page. They have a lot of views, and we ran
Fake
views. We were a script which we programmed an algorithm so it looks realistic. Where is it? I did
Wow,
two
that
of them.
is
One of
some
them-
trolling. You were trolling. You trolled to get your record deal.
Trolling is an art.
So today's industry, it's difficult, right? It's not.
I think I think now it's with home studios and Spotify and
Bandcamp.
Yeah, you don't need labels anymore.
No, it's direct.
No, you don't.
To the
They're I mean, they tried to sue themselves into profitability with like suing people for download and stuff, but people realize that. And that's why, like, now it's impossible. They say, what kind of music do you like? It's like we listen to such diverse stuff that it's nearly impossible to pin it down, because the stuff I listen to on Spotify, the radio never, like Italo Disco, like, you know, when does that ever get played on the radio?
So a lot of people, so when I was working in the music industry, I didn't do the band thing. I worked with hip hop artists, right?
Oh, nice.
So, which is a whole other genre of music. I worked with, I was in the underground scene and the mainstream scene, right? So I've been on stage, well, not on stage, but I managed artists that opened up for, you know, the Juggalo scene. Okay.
Oh, nice.
You know, and then I used to be a hype man, and I opened up for artists like Mobb Deep, Goody Mob, Black Rod. So I J.R. Ryder from Dipset. So I've been around, like, you know, the mainstream hip hop scene and the underground hip hop scene, and the independent scene is where it's at. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
It has a bigger following than you realize, and the following that you get from the independent scene are true fans. Okay. In the mainstream, it's those fans are just like temporary fans. They're shoved in your face, you know, like,
yeah.
You know, if the mainstream says, okay, this band is hot, right? Okay. Like, I was listening to Jelly Roll when he first came out with Haystack. Okay. I was listening to him 20 years ago. Okay. Before he became famous, you know, like on the national level, where he did the Grand Ole Opry, where he's big time now. He's, you know, and the thing is, right, he hasn't changed who he is, okay, as a person.
Well, you have to. You have to. Well,
Jelly Roll hasn't changed as a person. You know, he still has his values, right? What happens is when a lot of artists get signed, their values change.
Yeah.
They lose their way. They forget where they came from. You know, so with Jelly Roll, it's actually done him better. He's gotten healthier. He's lost a lot of weight. You know, yeah, I'm a huge supporter of Jelly Roll.
You have to have also the great thing about the internet in social media is you can have, I mean, you want people to love you as an artist, make it personal. There's this band I like, V&V Nation, and I mean, of course, they're not huge, but they could do like 3 sold out shows at a 3,000 seat venue in LA, which is good. And like under social media, I posted, hey, I'm driving all the way from so-and-so, blah, blah, blah. And they interact with that. And even at the show, because I just recently graduated, and that was sort of like my party, and like they call you out of like in front of the show, like, oh, and there's so-and-so, we have people here. And like, that's how you get lifetime fans, because now you're just like, hey, he talked about me.
So you know the artist Ryan Upchurch?
I don't.
So Ryan Upchurch is a country rapper, okay? He's independent, right?
What is the deal with country? And okay, not to stop you, so we have a country radio station here, and I've seen that like a song will be popular for a month, and then it goes away. And we have a hip hop station here, and I've noticed it's the same thing. And I came to this conclusion that modern pop country is like hip hop for white people. And now I'm seeing like they're starting to cross over, like where you have somebody called a country rapper. That I've heard about.
We call it.
And I was told that like 10 years ago. I'm like, these two have got to get together.
They call it hip hop, right?
Hip hop. Hip hop.
Hip hop, right? Because it's rap music for the country. You know what I'm saying? It's rap music for people from the South.
Is it
That they-
like Little Nas, or the opposite of that? White people rapping.
It's
Because he was like a black person singing country, but I think he rapped.
he wasn't. That was one time thing. Okay. If you get a chance, look up. You ever heard of Bubba Sparks?
No.
Yes.
Okay. He
Look
came
him
from
up
the
now.
country. He's one of the founding fathers of country rap music. Okay. So look him up, or like I said, Ryan Upchurch, or
Ooh,
Adam
he's
Calhoun, or it's just Haystacks is one of them. He's old school. He doesn't do it really much anymore. Just Trey. You know, there's a whole genre of the Lags. They do dirt rock now, but they started in rap music. There's a whole genre of country rappers. Okay. So, yeah, Little Nas X's career is finished. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, he fell off. But
Well, I mean, that's what they sort of come up, do a couple of songs, and then go away.
So, Ryan Upchurch has been at it for 10 plus years because he's never signed a contract with a major record label.
Yeah, I mean, it's so ridiculous what they can do. Like, oh, we're not going to release your album, but you're not allowed to release it yourself.
And you can't do shows.
Yeah, that's what happened with us, and you know,
and they control who you collab with.
yeah, it's really stupid. But there's no reason for that now with the internet. It's you just got to put in a lot of work yourself, but you can do what you want then.
There's a lot of people that don't want to put in the work. That's the problem.
Oh yeah, I mean, I talk to, because I live here in LA, so I still, run into the I want to do this, and of course I tell them, I go, don't spend. Okay, I mean, we do this like pay to play bullshit here in LA, where you got to basically buy tickets for your own show.
Everywhere, man. That's everywhere.
Yeah, it's. You know what was fascinating? Because LA sucks. As you want to do music, don't come to LA, because everybody in LA wants to do music. I mean, we would play shows in LA to nobody. Like nobody would be showing up. But I remember when we were on tour, we were in it was some town, but like in Oregon, like halfway to Portland. It might have been Eugene. I think that's where the college is. And I remember these two women came up to me while because like I didn't think we were that big, so I'm just carrying my own shit into the venue, and they're like, "Oh my god, I'm so glad! I thought we weren't going to get tickets," and the whole place is freaking sold out. I was like, "Where are you people in LA?"
So you know what I
if we started doing music here, we would be overnight successes at the local bar playing every night.
What I used to do when I bounced at this nightclub, it held about 260 people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was a 21 plus venue. So I would find these artists, right? So the artists could be 18 plus. And if I got them in the door early enough, they could be like 16. Okay. If I got them in the door at the very beginning, they could be 16, but they couldn't stay. They had to leave after their set.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I worked with these artists that were up and coming, and I said, I can book you to perform. You have to be here at this time, and you have to bring 10 of your supporters, right?
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'll put you on stage free. You bring 10 people to pay at the door, right? And I'll have 3 judges that'll vote on the best performance of the night, and they win a prize. Okay. So I had 3 judges that were not connected to any of the artists, because I did my homework. I would see who they associated with and stuff like that, right? So one of the judges was a Rough Rider. You know the Rough Riders, DMX Rough Riders. One of my judges was a Rough Rider, right? So And that's what I did. No pay to play. You didn't pay to get on stage. You brought your supporters to pay for you to get on stage.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to pay. Your supporters buy tickets and come and support you, right? So that's what I did, and I would have success doing it. Okay, it was like a talent showcase, and if you won, that you get one free music video shoot. You got a 3-hour recording session in the studio, and $150 in your pocket.
Oh, neat.
That's not a bad deal, because we all know how much it can cost for a music video shoot.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know how much a studio session is. And on top of that, depends. Sometimes I would have producers that would throw in exclusive beats with the contract. So, you know, it was just, the thing is, you got to put in that work. You know,
Yeah, and
network.
I mean, it took like it's not that like I got Logic Pro and just became an expert at it. I mean, it took 2 or 3 years working with it till we could do I could do anything which actually made any sense.
One thing I noticed.
I'm showing my old band photos, and yes, anybody who wants to troll me and clip them and make fun of me on them, that's fine.
One thing I noticed about a lot of artists is what they perform about or sing about or rap about or it's not real. It's not real. It's not them real selves. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ever notice that, Jeff?
I think he died.
Yeah, I
We
think he
bored
went
him
to the
to death.
bathroom or went to get something to drink. But you ever noticed some artists aren't authentic? You know.
Well, I had a producer tell me, which is what I live by now. I go, you want to write a good song, there are only 2 rules. The first rule, which is important to me because I use computers, is your song still has to be able to be played by itself on either an acoustic guitar or piano. The production doesn't mean anything. And 2, it's got to be dedicatable. You get those 2, you got yourself a good song.
And it's got to be deliverable.
Yeah, and that's why I just choose to write about. It's funny. I've had writer's block for the longest time. I told my wife, I was like, because when you're in a happy relationship, you got nothing to write about. And then I know Jeff is going to hate this because he hates this person, but I became friends with her, and then we decided I just created this whole thing in my head that like we were star-crossed lovers after a post-atomic horror. And I was finally able to finish the song. I was like, oh, neat. It's on my YouTube page.
Yeah. So music, this is one thing I look at music, right? Is when I'm going through something and I'm stressed or I'm depressed about something, I want something that's going to talk to me. When I'm happy,
oh yeah,
I want something that's going to talk to me. You know what I'm saying? I want to feel it.
I tell people, like, because I grew up in what people call a conservative area, but it's Southern California. And, being a little bit of a teenage angst person, you get into The Cure, Depeche Mode, 9 Inch Nails, stuff like that. And of course, at high school, like you can find the little goth industrial kids. There's a group who likes country music. There's a group. I couldn't imagine living like in the middle of Oklahoma and liking that music and not being able to go to any of those shows because they never come there. But it's the music helped. I mean, it really did. It was the best therapy in the world. And it's kind of funny. Sometimes now I go back and listen to songs where I was pining over a girl in high school and I'd listen to it. It was the most emotional experience ever. And now I kind of look back at it and laugh and go, haha, I used to like that song. Of course, my song Tanucci is awesome.
I've never seen Jeff on camera without his
I like your wrist things.
Oh, my little my little body.
Yeah, you and I would love to go. We would have fun clubbing together, I think.
If I don't think
Pop
there's any
Soda,
more
1, 2,
clubs
3.
to club in anymore.
Yeah, here in
Oh my
LA, we only have one which is left, which I like. It's called Das Bunker. We had this
Oh, maybe
goth
that
club,
one.
but they became. You know what happened? Like when I was going to these clubs as a kid, like I'd wear this East German military outfit, which kind of looked a little bit fascist, and nobody cared. Now
Right,
it's all a
yeah.
bunch of woke stuff.
Punks were not uptight about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, now
So
they're really.
I
It used to be the
I
clubs
have
where
a
you could go and not be cool, but people still liked you. Now, when you go there, if you don't dress up with all the gear, you're like, oh, you're a poser. That's not the real stuff. Like, who the hell are you? I remember once I was sitting there with this guy who's in this band who's like huge in that scene, but they didn't recognize us because I was wearing shorts and a t-shirt. And like these little tiny 18-year-old girls were like, oh, look at them. Look at those old guys there. Like, why are they here? It's like, you're fucking dancing to the freaking music we made like 2 years ago. I had no idea who we were. It was pretty funny.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Jeff, for you.
Oh.
I'm going to get water then.
All right. So for you, Jeff, I got a question. When you were growing up, when you were in high school, were you in the emo crowd?
No, because I predate emo. We didn't have emo. But when I was in high school, I was a loner. I was like Ali Sheedy in The Breakfast Club. I kept to myself.
Okay.
And if you tried to talk to me, I would just stare at you. I had a book. I brought a book to school every day, and I would sit there and I'd read my book. And if anybody tried to talk to me, I would just put my book down and glare at them until they leave me alone, and they would go back to reading my book. That was my high school.
Damn.
I wore the
Now I got to
black.
find a high school photo.
So I probably would have been emo if I had grown up in the emo time period. I was definitely like goth and punk and that kind of stuff.
Well, if you're goth, you can't be emo.
But I was the only one at my school like that. So I didn't have a crowd of people like me because I was the only one.
See, you know what I'm talking about.
I've been to Pop Soda 1, 2, 3. I've been to Run the Jewels. I've been to Run the Jewels. Wu-Tang. I'm from New England, so not from, but I lived up there for over 20 years. So Wu-Tang Clan. My whole family's from New York, so I got to represent New York. So
That's right. You have a real New York accent.
We're glad.
Yeah, I was born and raised in Florida until I was 15, and then I moved north.
What part of Florida?
Orlando. I grew up in Gainesville. I was born in Orlando, and I grew up in Gainesville. I grew up in the projects, and then I moved to New Hampshire, moved to Massachusetts, lived in Maine, lived in New York, lived in Tennessee. I've been all over the place on the East Coast.
Nick, is that you? Stop it.
Yeah, that's me in high school.
Yeah, we probably would have hung out.
So, you know, I'm just saying, like, music is passionate for me. I love music.
Yeah, oh, me too. That music was my mental health growing up. That's what got me through.
Absolutely.
I didn't have other humans I could turn to. I turned to the music to help me like process and resolve these strong emotions, and the lyrics helped me address things I was going through in my life, and it was all done through the music.
It's as if, like, you know, the artist is singing those lyrics directly to you, and only you understand them.
And then later, I met other fans of the same music, and we formed very close friendships, which helped mental health. So music led to a community that was able to kind of provide support as well. So music was the key to everything growing up. That was the key to my mental health.
All right, Nick, thank you for coming up. So I want to end this with Jeff, Gen X Jeff. So.
Oh, sounds good. I'm gonna go have dinner.
Yeah.
And get ready for this party, which will eventually happen.
Yes.
Yeah, it's gonna happen tomorrow, but we'll have the pre-party tonight. Some kind of
Okay, I'll stop at the store and get good things for the party.
Oh,
Maybe I could do day drinking. No, I shouldn't do that. Then I start trolling people on the internet and I get myself in trouble. Okay, I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Thank you, Nick.
Hey, Pop Soda, I would love you to come up on my panel one day and share your story, if you ever want to.
Oh wow, Pop! I didn't know that about your background.
Yeah, I would love to hear your story sometime.
Yeah.
That's wild. Music was my savior. Also, I was a ward of the state at the age of 15. My dad and my brother went to prison, and my mom gave. That sucks. That sucks. I'd love to hear your story if you ever want to share it. So, Jeff, thank
Well,
you for
Eddie, I
coming
had a
up.
real fun time tonight.
Yeah.
And my mental
No
health
trolls.
is certainly better for being here.
No trolls tonight. No negativity. No. It was a blast. You know,
yeah.
you gotta. So the thing is, right? Is you mentioned mods, right? You gotta have. You gotta have mods that will
actually mod.
Actually mod, yes. And I would look into Carrie T. I would reach out to Carrie T.
Yeah, yeah.
And have a conversation with her about your schedule and set up a schedule, okay, about your live streams. Dedicate time slot so she could be there, so your mods can be there. You know what I'm saying? A dedicated time slot every night that you're going to go live.
That's hard to do with my current schedule, but it's kind of stream on the fly when I can.
Or at least let your mods know like hours ahead of time when you're going to go live.
Yeah, I could probably do that.
Yeah. Because if you just go live and they don't know, your schedule, you know what I'm saying?
But if I have enough mods, that won't be a problem because there's always going to be some in the chat.
Yes. There's always somebody by chat. They might not comment, but they're lurking. So, I have people that watch in the bushes. So, but thank you for coming up. And I really had a good time.
I did too. And Kevin, I'm glad to hear that. Thank you for watching and hanging out with us.
But hey, Pop Soda, I'm gonna drop my email address. Because I understand the foster care system. So that would be an interesting story.
Yeah, you were in it too?
Yeah, for a while, for a little bit. Yeah, my dad was in prison for 25 years. So I understand the prison. I was a very troubled kid growing up.
Yeah, it sounds like.
Being a survivor, yeah. Thank you, George.
Yes, thank you, George.
That's my old neighbor.
Oh.
That's an old neighbor.
Oh, wow, cool.
Yeah, we used to play cribbage together, smoke cigars together. And once in a while, we'd go to the cigar shop and play pool. And I'd get my ass kicked every time in cribbage and pool. So, but it was fun.
How humbling.
Well, the thing is just, yes, it was humbling, but I had fun with George because we would conversate and crack jokes and talk trash to each other. And
yeah, I think that's all healthy. Y'all were doing good mental health.
Even though it's the connection you make. Yeah, you might get your ass kicked in pool, whatever, or you might lose in cribbage constantly. But it's the connection you make with that person. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, okay, he humbles you in pool, whatever. But what is your relationship with that person afterwards? You know what I'm saying?
I think that's another reason I don't worry too much about humility, because it's not important to my focus. It doesn't matter. It's never kept me from forming connections or relationships. So as long as I'm able to do that, it doesn't matter if I'm humble or not, or how big my ego is.
You know what it is? What you just said Do you understand the statement you just made?
Probably not. I'm half retarded
Okay.
too.
All right. So what my brain took it as, all right, how, and I could be wrong in chat. Tell me if I'm wrong. All right. I'm gonna leave it at this, and tell me if I'm wrong. You don't care if you're humbled or not. It's the connection you make with that person.
Yeah. It's like
So
a
you
completely
don't
different axis.
struggle with humility. You're not egotistical because all you care about is the relationship you make with that person.
I really do, but the ego can sometimes get in the way, I think. But then so can theirs. So there is something about ego and trying to connect to other people. Maybe that's a idea for a future topic.
There you go.
But you're right, because I think
Well,
as
shit,
long
come
as
back
if
up.
the connection's still happening, that shows that there's something more than just the ego going on there.
Yes. Yes. What's up,
Good
Shift?
conversation.
Hey, I just wanted to use you for your ear information. Is this any better? I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with my microphone.
Much better, much
Is
better.
it?
Yes. So whatever you did,
Alright.
whatever button you mashed.
Yeah, I took out my earring and I jammed it into my phone slot, and I thought, you know what?
No,
It
it's
worked.
bad again, Shift.
It's bad again?
Yeah, it's
A
in and
little
out.
bit, yeah.
It's
It
in and out.
gurgled.
Ah,
It gurgled.
It might be it could be connection too.
What kind of mic are you
do you
using?
think?
If it's
I'm
like
just
cutting out
using
on
my
you.
my mobile. No, okay.
If it's
Hopefully
like
it's
not
the
transferring all the bytes and bits.
Do you
I
have a
want you to
headset?
have all the bytes in this.
I know we want all the bytes and bits, but
Okay,
show us your
sorry.
bits. But if they're not
Oh.
getting to us
Shift.
because of the connection.
My
Yeah.
forever Shift. Shift
Yeah.
will always be my forever.
Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry for bringing my
Don't
mom on my
apologize.
All right,
Well,
I'm gonna try to fix it. Okay, bye.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
She's a wild one. She's a
I
wild
love
one.
her.
So, yeah, I met her a while back.
Oh, you met her?
Yeah, I've been up on her, not in person.
Oh,
I've been on her panel. She's always just come into my chat, hit the thumbs up, and say hi and bye.
Yeah. That she
Once
does
in
me.
a
She
while,
brings
I'll
her
get her
good
to stop
vibes,
and-
her happy
yeah.
vibes.
Once in a while, I'll get her to stop in her tracks and come up on panel. So, but no, like the thing is the last couple of statements you made showed that you do have humility. You know, you just don't realize it.
Maybe
You don't
so.
realize. You don't see it,
That could be.
which is fine. It's not meant to be seen. Because all you care about is the connection you make with that person.
Yeah. Or don't make either one, but
Well, you're
I
not
prefer to
always
make.
going to make a connection with somebody.
I
You
know.
know what I'm
That's one of the
saying? But-
lessons I had to learn growing up. And it was a
And you
hard
learn
one.
that here on the streets of YouTube too.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Okay.
That's,
You learned that here. Like, dude, so my channel used to be called All Things Serious, right? I'll make it short and sweet. I came from the true crime community. Me and the channel had a falling out. I got drugged through the mud. And I tried to revive All Things Serious, and I just wasn't happy with the name, the music, the logos, none of that stuff connected to it. I had to change.
and now we have Well the Thing Is.
Yep. And I'm a Viking. So all my logos are Viking-esque.
Well, I like the horns.
So I'm a Viking. Proud Viking.
Yeah, we get a lot of Vikings around here.
So I'm 64% Norwegian. So more than half my DNA is a Viking. Norse. So, or what they call Scandinavian.
Yeah.
So,
or Germanic sometimes.
Well, which is the same thing.
Yeah, there we have a strong Norwegian connection here. We have Dobes, and we have a few other Vikings, people of Viking descent.
Mine goes all the way to Trondheim. Trondheim. In Norway.
That's where Dobes is right now.
So, but
a Viking hammer necklace. Oh, see, we have. What did I tell you? We draw This is. We should market to Vikings, like the mental health channel of choice of Vikings everywhere. Viking mental health.
So, I have I wear a Viking hammer myself. Pop soda. I wear a Viking hammer
I love
myself.
the Vikings that come here.
So I also have the horn. I also have the braces. Yep. So, but thank you, Jeff. You take care, friend.
Thank you, Eddie. We'll do it again.
I'll see you
at the
tomorrow.
shirtless disco party.
Just because I'll probably get your channel shut down.
Oh.
So, everybody in chat, thank you for being here. I will see you later, Jeff.
Okay. Take care, Eddie. Thanks a lot.
Not a problem.